February 5th, Nikki Glazer is hosting the Golden Globe Award show on CBS and Paramount Plus, and the nominees are in. I can give you a rundown of some of the stuff. We don't have to break down the entire list, but we'll go through some of the bigger categories. Best Motion Picture Drama. The nominees are The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys, and September 5.
Oh, wow. I've only seen one of those.
Yeah, me too. And A Complete Unknown, has that hit
no.
wide release yet?
No.
So, there was an article I was reading, it might have come from the New York Times, talking about how the Golden Globes used to be the more accessible award show for people because they would pick things that more than likely more people have seen. And this year's roster is the entirely different direction.
Yeah, because I saw Dune 2 out of all those. That's the only one.
Dune 2, I think, only got 2 nominations. It deserves many more.
It's a brilliant movie. Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy, Anora, Challengers, Amelia Perez, A Real Pain, The Substance, and Wicked. I haven't seen one of those yet.
The Substance is not streaming, but it's available for purchase.
Real Pain is what I really want to see. That's the one with
Jesse Eisenberg.
Correct.
Yeah.
And The Substance is the one you had talked about with Demi Moore.
Yeah,
but it says musical or comedy?
So
I thought it was a horror film.
It is. It's a body horror film. There are moments of humor in it.
Okay.
But the same way The Martian was a comedy,
Yep.
The Substance is a comedy.
Okay. Best Motion Picture Animated, Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Moana 2, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Must Foul, and The Wild Robot are all up for that.
You guys all saw Inside Out too, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, that's the only one. Oh, no,
No,
Moana
you saw
2.
Moana. What of those two, what do you prefer?
Well, I think Inside Out and Inside Out 2 are perfect movies. Like the way that they describe emotions, to me, it can't be beat. So I think that on the brainy level, Inside Out 2 should win. But I haven't seen any of the other ones on that list.
Cinematic and box office achievement. So this is to handle the big blockbusters as opposed to more on the arty side. So Alien Romulus, Beetlejuice, Deadpool and Wolverine, Gladiator 2, Inside Out 2, Twisters, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
This is where they throw the general population a bone.
Yep, It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. All right, so down to the actors categories. Female actor in a motion picture drama. Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl. Angelina Jolie and Maria. Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl. Tilda Swinton in The Room Next Door. Fernanda Torres in I'm Still Here, and Kate Winslet for Lee. Male actor in a motion picture drama, Adrian Brody in The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet in A Complete Unknown, Daniel Craig for Queer, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Female actor in a musical or comedy, you have Amy Adams in Night Bitch, Cynthia Erivo.
Good night, bitch.
Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon and Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison in Anora, Demi Moore in The Substance, and Zendaya in Challengers. So interesting so the female actor, musical or comedy, Cynthia Erivo, did she outperform Ariana Grande, you guys think?
Yeah, I guess she's more of the focus.
Okay. Because I haven't seen it. I don't know how much. I guess maybe she gets more screen time.
The people who are just absolutely completely consumed with Wicked and have seen everything seem to say her performance, though Ariana Grande can certainly sing, that Cynthia Erivo is just a force of nature.
No kidding.
Yes.
All right. Male actor, musical comedy, Jesse Eisenberg in Real Pain, Hugh Grant in Heretic. Is that out now, Heretic?
Yeah, that's the movie about.
I know it's about.
Yeah.
But it's streaming yet?
Yeah.
All right. I got to see that.
Maybe not streaming, but it's in theaters.
All right. Gabriel LaBelle, Saturday Night. Jesse Plemons, Kinds of Kindness. Glenn Powell for Hitman. And Sebastian Stan for A Different Man. So that's a rundown of some of those. Then you start to get into song and
catering.
Well, you know what? Let me give you some of the TV ones real quick.
Yeah.
Best television drama. Day of the Jackal, The Diplomat, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Shogun, Slow Horses, and Squid Game. Or Squid Game?
The newest season?
What?
It just says Squid Game.
What?
When is Squid? When's the second?
Squid Game 2 is supposed to be out in short order.
Because Squid Game 1 is already.
It's years ago.
And already went through the the award stuff.
Exactly.
I don't like this.
I don't understand.
What, do you get nominated for each of your appendages?
Comes out the day after Christmas.
Oh, it comes out, and so it'll be within the calendar year, so it'll be available.
Mother effer.
But I mean, well, I guess the deciding factors have seen it already. Have seen
Yeah,
screenings
way
of
to
it.
go. Way to keep us out of the process.
Best television series musical comedy: Abbott Elementary,
Great.
The Bear, The Gentleman, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, and Only Murders in the Building.
So, again, Lisa Ann Walter had made a funny reference to, I don't consider The Bear a comedy.
Right.
Nope, I don't either.
But they won last time as the comedy.
I mean, there are certainly funny moments, but I consider it much more drama.
Absolutely.
In its storyline.
I would put it in the class of culinary drama.
And in Best Television Limited Series, Anthology Series, or Motion Picture Made for Television, you have the following contenders: Baby Reindeer, Disclaimer, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story, The Penguin, Ripley, and True Detective Night Country.
Well, I got to finish that.
True Detective Night Country?
Yeah, that's one with Jodie Foster set in in Alaska. I watched the first probably like 3 or 4 episodes.
I heard that has like paranormal type elements to it.
But it never does. Like even
doesn't?
even the first True Detective one with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
They hint at it?
Yes.
Yeah.
They flirted with some weird spiritual things that Matthew McConaughey's character was into, and you're expecting these kind of...
But they never deliver.
He's just a weird dude.
All right.
An extremely weird guy.
And so it's similar, but it's really, really moody because it's set in night country, essentially.
At any point, does a gorilla in a spacesuit appear?
No, but man, there is a scene with a polar bear, like just walking down
a
the street.
spacesuit?
Not in a spacesuit.
Oh.
Why are you wearing that helmet? So anyhow, January 5th, that is when the Golden Globes will be. All right, got some entertainment other things to mention to you. Well, speaking of Golden Globes, we'll go to this one. Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield recently reminisced about their surprise kiss at the 2017 Golden Globes series. Golden Globes during an interview for Variety's Actors on Actors series. The moment happened when Reynolds lost the Best Actor award to Ryan Gosling for La La Land, and Garfield jokingly suggested they kiss instead of Reynolds kissing his wife, Blake Lively. The playful moment, which went unnoticed until later due to the wide camera angle, has since become an iconic Golden Globes memory. And reflecting on it, both actors shared how they enjoyed the spontaneity and humor of the moment, while acknowledging it might have overshadowed Gosling's win. The conversation also highlighted the mutual admiration between the two stars. Andrew Garfield praised the creativity and self-awareness of Reynolds' work on Deadpool, calling it a blend of humor, heart, and meta storytelling. Reynolds, in turn, expressed his admiration for Garfield's dedication to his craft, saying that he and his family are fans of everything Garfield does. Despite the kiss starting as a joke, it underscored the actors' fun-loving dynamic and deep respect for each other's talents.
So Garfield has a good sense of humor about everything. I think in No Way Home, the comedic elements he brings to his Spider-Man is very cool. And I also saw a GQ interview with him and Florence Pugh, where they were really sharing a good sense of humor back and forth. They were promoting that movie they have out now.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him end up in a future Deadpool as Spider-Man.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see that happen. So speaking of Deadpool, I have one other thing about Ryan Reynolds in that. So when your latest movie makes over $1 billion worldwide, it's not to follow it up. And he was talking in this same Actors on Actors series when the topic of a possible Deadpool 4 came up. Reynolds said there were 2 reasons that it would be a while for if it would ever happen. First, he said, it only works if you space them out. You got to leave Svan clamoring for more. But more importantly, he said how it would affect his family, talking about his 4 kids. He said, I don't ever want to be absentee, and I don't think I want to miss stuff. I kind of die inside when I see their face, and they have a competition or they have a sports thing or something that I missed. So he is not planning on doing anything like that in the near future.
I think he's right to leave him wanting more and let the Deadpool verse, so to speak, move along. See if we do get a Gambit movie and a few other things that, maybe another Blade movie with Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, exactly. So when you when you like a news story on social media about your son-in-law being accused of rape, that's bound to raise some eyebrows.
Oh, my God.
And it did. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom and Jay-Z's mother-in-law, is claiming her Instagram account got hacked after it liked a news story about Jay-Z and Diddy being accused of raping a 13-year-old back in 2000.
We just had this
we just talked
conversation.
about this.
Yeah, about no, it was not hacked.
No one hacked it. You liked it.
She doesn't like, the word is she doesn't like Jay-Z because Jay-Z cheated on her. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, and that was the impetus for that album. And so he hasn't liked her since. Or she hasn't liked him since.
While many in the comments supported her, some were suspicious, wondering why the alleged hacker would like just one story and leave. Others have Knowles back. And Knowles herself said in the comments, "Please stop playing with me. No weapon formed against my family shall prosper."
Wow, man. She sounds like Conan the Barbarian.
She does. As your enemies crushed before you.
Limitations of
the women. And never like something you don't like.
I mean, come on.
I know. So let's see. Chris Rock was doing a comedy set at billionaire Anthony Pratt's Christmas party. So it's a good thing that people didn't buy tickets to see the show because he ended it rather abruptly. What happened was midway through his impromptu set, he saw something in the crowd he didn't like, and he stormed off. According to reports, Rock shouted that he, quote, he wasn't supposed to be taped, videoed, reported, or whatever else wasn't supposed to happen.
So the crowd was left wondering, why did the chicken cross the road?
And then he barreled quickly, forcefully through people to the exit doors without explaining why, and he also never came back after that. But it wasn't a total loss for partygoers because Keith Urban jumped on stage and played for the
He's
next
funny.
90 minutes. No, he did an hour and a half show.
Wow.
That's what he did. So he stepped up to it. So you guys want to hear about the People Magazine Creators of the Year poll?
Do I ever?
So these are all social media peoples, which means I don't know. I know one name on this.
Okay,
Actually,
all
no,
right.
two names on this list. Yes.
All right, that's good.
All right. So we'll start it with the hottest YouTube talk show host,
Okay,
Sean Evans.
of course.
Best on beauty talk. That's Gloria.
Gloria?
Not Gloria. Gloria.
Gloria. It's
Most-
like Flo Rida.
Most snackable food content. That went to Keith Lee.
Of course.
Most snackable food creator. That's Donut Daddy.
Can it be Preston and Donut Daddy?
It could be.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know if you guys see this, but Jen Fred and Jared, her photographer, they claim to be snack influencers. And so
Yeah.
they buy snacks at Wawa. And then, like 4 in the morning when they're in the truck, they'll just snack on chips and make a video of it. It's
They
great.
make videos of it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
great.
Also, the sweetest or saltiest senior citizen is Grandma Droniak. Favorite original songwriter is Jax. The home improvement inspo is Becky Bidlin.
I know Jax. She's the one that wrote the song about Victoria's Secret and kind of outed the creator of Victoria's Secret in the song, but it's like a catchy little tune.
All right, Kathy knows one.
Do you see what we're seeing here, though? This glut of, Our bells are back, by the way.
Yes.
This glut of people. I don't know most of these people.
Yeah.
But
know any of these people.
yeah,
I've known
so,
one. Sean Evans is
Yeah,
the host of Hot Ones.
right.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like the Orson Welles of this collective.
I mean, and Hot Ones has been around for probably almost a decade at this point, so he's got staying power.
Top-notch nostalgia content went to Aaron Miller. The best podcast is The Toast.
I like toast.
Queen of Clean Talk is Operation Nikki. That sounds up your alley, Kathy.
Yeah, they're like clean products, probably.
So if you have anything with the subject matter, if you had talk at the end, you identify it as a TikTok show?
Yeah.
I don't know. Best celebrity podcasters. Now, here's a name you'll know. Tay and Taylor Lautner.
Yes.
So, but they're celebrities.
Of course.
How's their podcast? Anybody know?
They must be brilliant.
I do know that Taylor Lautner married a person named Taylor.
Yeah, Tay. So it's Tay and Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best
Just for the podcast.
the best kids content is Ms. Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We know
But
Ms. Rachel.
But she's not like a social media. She had a show before
She did, yeah.
social media, right?
She's been around for a while, and she did stuff with Elmo at one point. Like, she's great. She gave a commencement speech that went viral. Maybe it's
Okay.
And kids-
Columbia or something like that.
Kids love her.
Yeah, she's terrific.
And then the last one, and we know this one, best A-lister turned influencer, Jennifer Garner.
Oh, I know her.
I'd like to apologize to her.
Who doesn't want to apologize
Yeah,
to her?
because
I'd like to apologize to Jennifer Garner and her pool boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life.
so these are
I
the
apologize to anyone who's been offended by my fictional creations, Chrysagon, the philosopher
He's
of
very
evil,
remorseful.
and the skull seal.
he also interrupts like every
He does
time.
every time.
You know, I understand he's got apologies, but come on, man.
Wait, why is she turned influencer though?
I apologize to anyone who's
I don't know what I do follow her on Instagram, and she's got cute, fun videos. Maybe she, from time to time, will show products on there, Kath. So I guess once you start to promote products, you're an influencer, right?
Huh.
Sort of.
Okay.
Or recommend things that people do and
I
try.
think the boundaries of what constitutes an actual influencer have become more blurred.
So she does. Nick pulled up. She's doing. She's cooking recipes and things
Cooking.
like that. So that
I'm
might be
looking
part
now
of it.
too. Okay.
All right.
So if you pour yourself a bowl of cereal in the morning,
Yeah. And
take a picture of it.
Show people how
You're
to do
an
it.
influencer.
That's right. All right. One last story, and then we will move on to clips. I want to see which one. I'm going to end with this one because this is great news. And we love this guy, David Harbour.
Oh, yeah.
Knows that fans are hoping for a great end to Stranger Things. The end to any show with an avid fan base for a decade can be a tricky thing, but the actor shares in a new interview that it'll be worth the wait. He said, I've said it before, but I do think the finale is spectacular. He said, I think that it's so satisfying. If you've been a fan of the show, it takes a lot of threads that you may have worried about or wondered about. I'm not saying it ties them up into a nice, neat bow, but it gives you the having eaten a big meal satisfaction that you will crave.
Listen,
Good to know.
if they just do a number of them, I'll be happy. There's a lot to take
Yes.
care of, but they haven't disappointed at all.
No, and with all those little tendrils of stories and events, leaves the door open to move on because this show has been rooted in the past. They can continue on and make this thing go on with a different cast, possibly. You know,
You know what? I'd love to see 11. Listen,
Yeah.
as an adult woman, which you're going to have to, that's going to proceed. But I mean, she's such a good actress. Let's see what she can do.
I love Millie Bobby Brown. I think it'd be great. But even if they move on to other people,
yes.
there's Hawkins, that whole thing, the government tie-in and all. There's so much material there. But he said whether that be talking about the end, he said whether that be sad or happy, we don't know, but it will give you that. It will give you that satisfaction as a fan of the show.
Does he leave Glappy as an option?
He said, I don't feel like we're going to disappoint. And season 5 of Stranger Things is expected to release next year. Cannot wait for that.
Oh, by the way, the trailer for season 3 of Reacher
Oh, yeah,
has
it's out.
dropped.
Cool.
So they got this. They have him facing off against this guy, Reacher,
just a mountain?
twice his size.
Oh, my
How is that even
God.
And in fact, they make reference to it. He tells one of his, friends, and so she goes, "I thought the only guy bigger than you was on Mount Rushmore."
Right.
But they gave him a real nemesis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because Reacher, the character, he can handle any situation with ease, without question. So maybe he's going to finally have a super formidable person to go up against.
Here's the guy, yeah.
Wow, he's a big boy. Big boy. All right, here we go. Here are the clips. The 6888 is about a brave group of women who went forth to address the 3 years of male backup from World War II while facing discrimination. While directing this film, Tyler Perry channeled his own experience when directing the film because in this clip he discusses a time that he was doubted himself.
I can go back to my first promoter in my first play. He said, you're going to have one hit. This is how it works. You only have one play that's going to work. Here I am with 19 plays later, and I still call him up sometimes. He's much older now. He's like, hey, remember you told me I was only going to have one hit? So, yeah, we laugh about it now. He said, God, I'm so glad I was wrong.
Could you shut up?
So the 6888 is in theaters now. Here's our next clip. The Return is a new take on the classic tale of Odysseus, where he washes up on the shore to find the world that he knew has changed drastically. In this clip, Ray Fiennes, who plays Odysseus, talks about the classic nature of the film. Here we go.
I can go back to...
My bad.
All good. All All right, here is that clip.
It's the ultimate looking into the eyes of the person you love and going, are you there? Where are you? Are you there? It's really, that's what if you take everything out of the film, it's what they see in each other's eyes. And that, I think that spoke to both of us.
I don't think I want to see it.
You saw how cut up he's gotten for this this role at his age.
At his age, and he was talking about that is incredibly difficult.
Yes.
So it involves a lot of not eating.
Exactly. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He was like, there's zero fat. He had to trim way, way down, but he looks great.
He's one of those, I'll stop and pay attention to whatever he's doing.
I agree. Yeah. So The Return is in theaters now. And there you go. That's your entertainment report for you this morning. All right. We got a lot going on the program today, in case you're just tuning in. We are going to have totals of Camp Out for Hunger a little bit more than an hour from now. We're going to reveal the monetary and food donations that came in. We're also going to talk to our guys from Kamelot Productions. They're the ones that did the drone footage that first day. We haven't seen it yet, so Arthur and Joe are going to stop by, give us some of the details on that. And we'll do like a live commentary of the video that we
love
watched,
that.
and we will be able to share that, and you'll be able to see it on YouTube too. Connor Barwin and Chris Long are going to be on the program today. We have a concert announcement to make and more.
With the fog, do we need to send someone up to the crow's nest?
We might, because clearly it's going to be difficult to navigate this morning. It's in Ballackinwood. It's about as thick as I've ever seen it before. So be careful. We'll get a traffic report when we return with Kathy. So stay put. We will be back in just a moment, my friend.
Preston and Steve.
It was over the weekend. She's like, yeah, well, I went to an I Do barbecue and blah, blah, blah. This is kind of skated over there. I'm like, hang on a second. What's an I Do barbecue? You guys ever heard of that before?
No, but I have like an engagement party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to vomit.
But only for people in the wedding party.
Right. Okay.
So
it's kind of where do they ask them to be in the wedding party? Like that's part of the event.
I'm not really sure.
So I've been to like where they invite the bridal party over, and that's you're at a party and they ask you to be in the bridal party. So
is that what that is?
You're going to a party and you don't actually know yet until you get
to the party,
right.
And then they say, by the way, you're all going to be in.
Or they ask you, yeah.
Okay.
So do attendees they don't know until some point in the evening when.
I mean, I think for my brothers, I knew I was going to be in my brother's wedding, but yes, and then they, gave us a bottle of wine, and on the wine, she had put in like a cute little saying asking us to be, it was a custom made wine label, and then it was a cute saying asking us to be in the wedding.
I would attend I'd prefer not barbecue.
I actually never liked the idea of an engagement party, and so. You can put a cute little name on it, right, and make things rhyme, and I'm not going to like it or dislike it any more or any less.
Well, that's what they do, though. Yeah, that's what whoever they are.
There must be some counselor, commissioner, somebody who puts together like. With the gender reveal stuff now, that went from 0 to 60.
Now, I'm wondering where this started, because there's an article on the knot.com, right, which is a wedding magazine and a wedding website. And so do you think that they wrote the article thinking that this might be a thing, or did they write the article because it already was a thing?
I think probably they can help boost it by reporting on it.
Right.
All the not readers. But I don't know. Usually something has to have a little bit of traction before you report on it, right?
So yeah, I would think so. But so you have an engagement party, okay?
Okay.
You have, I guess now, an I Do barbecue. You have to have a rehearsal dinner.
The rehearsal dinner is to me, isn't that that's the wedding party gathering,
That's
right?
what I always thought it was.
Well, but not anymore, because now if you have out-of-town guests, if you're going by, their rules, you have to invite the out-of-town guests to the rehearsal dinner.
Right.
So, but but out-of-town guests who are in the wedding party aren't expected to attend the I Do barbecue,
I think the I Do barbecue is taking over the engagement party. I don't think you're having an I Do barbecue and you're having an engagement party. I think it's sort of one or the other.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but you would only invite.
An I Do barbecue is an engagement party.
Yeah, but you're only inviting the people that would be in your wedding party.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying that is also, I've been to parties where they only invite the bridal party.
Because let's say you have a big engagement party or your I Do barbecue, but you're only inviting some of the people that are there.
Invite people who can be in the a direct wedding party.
But let's say you have like 50 people there, but you're only inviting like 7 of them to be in your wedding party. That's kind of insulting to the other people that show up.
This is
really.
useless.
That's like saying you have to put every single friend in your bridal party. I think you know who's.
But if you're at a party and you're not part of the list there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, I'll just be waiting over here.
Yeah.
No.
Enjoy your being celebrated by the bride and groom, and I'll just stand over here and have my fruit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
So you have all these parties. What are the ones involved with having a baby? There's a shower.
The
right?
barber bris.
The barber bris.
But listen, like the I Do barbecue and the gender reveal, I think are kind of organized so that you don't have to bring a gift. You're not bringing a gift to, do you know what I'm saying?
A gender reveal?
Yeah, like it's more set up like the barbecue. Like come over for a barbecue, you don't quite know what it is. But whereas an engagement party is, if you show up without a gift, or at least for me, if I showed up without a gift, I would feel awkward.
All right, hang on. I just saw a text that came over. It said Connor Betts, he's an assistant producer here, went to an I Do barbecue. I'd like to know if he brought a gift with him to the I Do barbecue. Because, Kathy, I think you have to bring a gift to an I Do barbecue.
I don't know. Here,
Well,
Connor's.
all right, we need an
walking him right
explanation,
now.
clarification, in case I, by some stretch of the imagination, get invited to an I Do barbecue. I want to know what to do.
Connor?
I did not bring a gift.
Okay.
Were you aware that it was an I Do barbecue before you attended?
Yes.
Okay, so that and it's the premise of the I Do barbecue when it was presented to you that you were coming because you were going to be asked to be a part of this wedding party?
Yes, and I was not a part of the wedding.
All right, did your girlfriend bring a gift?
No.
Okay.
So when you went,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the gender reveal is to come. We're all finding out together what the baby is going to be. You're not going to bring a gift to that. The the baby shower. Yes, that's the point of a baby shower. Your friends, your family, they're bringing gifts so that you can be prepared for when the baby comes.
Connor prefers to be called Moose.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
That's just a nickname from high school.
Oh, I did not know that.
High
Okay.
school into college, and everybody calls
Okay,
me.
gotcha. Well, I didn't know that. Nice to meet you, Moose.
so Moose, what was it like at the I Do barbecue?
Well, I didn't bring a gift, one, because they are wealthy and
Yes.
I am poor.
Right.
So I think my mom might have brought a gift, but I did not.
And so who with the cluster that you attended, who was asked to be in the bridal party?
It was my friend's brother's engagement party, I guess. So then we were all friends with him, and it was a bunch of my friends, and then I was not asked.
Did they line you up?
I was back up.
Did they line you up in a row and then yes, no? Yes.
Yeah, it's like picking
No.
for kickball.
Right, yeah. Right? No. And then, Connor, you're there with the caterer standing there.
Yeah, it was me and the caterer
Yeah.
and the dog.
Right, yeah,
was
yeah.
on the side.
These are the ones who will not be in our wedding party. Shame them.
Sorry, Moose.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
But you didn't go to the party expecting to be asked to be in the bridal party, right? Yeah.
Not even a little bit?
No.
it's
With
not-
how
it's
good
not
you look in a gown?
You don't have every friend you know in your bridal party.
No, but I'm saying this seems oddly. It is like being picked for teams in school.
No.
And you're left out of it.
No.
It's like, why not break up into shirts and skins?
Well, I had never heard the term "I Do barbecue" before, but apparently that's another one to add to the list with your gender reveals, your
Right.
sprinkles, your showers, your engagement
golden
parties,
showers.
your golden showers, the
I mean,
Butterscotch bandits, your
and that's
Carl
overcomers.
That's, guys, you're combining things that
It's
don't.
disgusting.
It's not.
Yeah, Overcomer was a movie.
We're here
that
for
opened.
the hot Carl party.
What were you gonna say, guys?
I just don't make your wedding more special than it really is.
Yeah.
You know,
Or do it since it's your wedding.
yeah.
Don't make it more special than it really is.
Because it might end up in a murder-suicide, you know?
Wow.
You're not special. This day isn't special.
It might end up in that should
They
go on
had
a
an I Do
Hallmark card.
barbecue.
They had
and
an I-
now he's dead.
Congratulations. It might end up in a murder-suicide.
I'm Keith Morrison. It started with an I Do barbecue and ended with Where'd You Bury the Body?
Pierre is in the studio, about ready to take over for the day.
It's a miracle.
It is a miracle.
It is a
isn't it?
miracle.
Every day's a miracle.
Every day's a miracle. Rodney brought me coffee this morning.
Ah,
That's awesome.
Rodney's
I mean,
the man.
If Rodney isn't the greatest already, he, on his way in, found some wonderful coffee for me and brought it in.
I have a Superman statue that I'm going to give Rodney. There's one statue that has not ported over to my office. I said, if anybody around here deserves the Superman statue, it's Rodney.
I would
So,
agree.
Yeah.
You need more figurines and statues. Though.
I have space now, and they will be coming. They are ordered and on their way. In fact, one should be arriving at the house today.
Yeah. Claire, God bless her.
She really is a saint.
She is a saint. Yeah. But I'm sure she said, no more in this house. Send them to the office.
Absolutely. Work it is.
Are there pictures of the assortment?
In the house. But there's still room in the house.
No, I mean up online, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so that people can see how many Batman, Superman, other figurines you have.
Just go to our Instagram page. Yeah.
We posted yesterday. There's more on the way.
Yeah, so this is just beginning, but mostly featuring Batman and Iron Man.
Right. Okay.
Right now, I have to decorate properly.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. It's a miracle.
There you go. There's a picture of it in the studio right now.
Oh, this is the new office.
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah.
Yep. We just moved in the other day.
So there's huge spaces where people would put books and tapes and various recording instruments, but Steve has used they're 5 feet high statues.
Yeah.
And
they're not 5 feet high.
All right. They're 4.5 feet high.
4.5 feet. Yeah.
And the Iron Man gets a giant Iron Man head.
That's a 1-to-1 scale Iron Man head.
Wow.
I'm so glad listen, it looks good. You've organized it so nicely. I am proud of you. But I'm glad there's a buffer between me and you.
That buffer is Nick.
It's Nick.
Yeah.
I've started to straighten up my area.
You have. It's
and my collections are coming too. So I have display area finally. So I'm going to put some of my stuff up.
Nice.
I don't know if I'm going to do the swords.
Really?
Yeah.
No, we threw the swords out.
No, I have a couple of swords. There's one like the Philadelphia Pipe and Drums brought us this really cool. It's engraved and everything. So that's for the show. I need to find somewhere for that. But I have other collections that I'm going to bring and display.
Are we going to do that thing that we were talking about? That one idea where we were floating?
We got to do that. Yeah. We'll hopefully get to that soon.
Okay.
That's an idea, and we'll get to it.
Yeah. We're not going to reveal what it is.
We're going to put a chopping board in the middle of the room and hang our pots and pans from the ceiling.
No, that's Kathy's sections, along with the doilies and the Martha Stewart tribute area.
You know what? I've always wanted that. I've never had a setup where I can hang my pots and pans from like a ceiling setup.
I like that look. My wife doesn't like it, so we didn't get it.
Here's why I do like it. It looks great. But you can't use the pots because once there's a stain and you hang it up, now it looks ridiculous.
Shut up.
I'm just saying that's when it doesn't look good.
Once there's a stain,
that's why
that shows that that's a working kitchen.
Which is
there
fine.
would never be a stain if it was me because they'd never be used.
Me neither. That's why I always wanted it.
It would work in your house.
Yeah.
See, that's why we should live together.
That's why we are married but stay apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Forever.
I mean, you can't have sex all the time.
Well, exactly.
No, it's the perfect marriage. We don't live together and we don't have to have sex.
Yeah, you just love each other and then leave it at that.
We just love each other, and that's all
Kathy,
there is to it.
had she not met Dennis, she would have been married to a prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It'd be the perfect thing. What are you in for murder?
Love it. Right each other.
Yeah.
I didn't give away whatever it was I had yesterday.
You didn't?
So whatever that is.
It was a turkey.
Okay.
It was a turkey.
We'll give it away today.
It was and pounds of steak.
And
so,
pounds of steak.
Yeah, not just a pound, several pounds.
Several
Steak.
I would like 7 pounds of steak.
7 pounds of steak. You got it, Buster. Step right up to Pierre's Butcher Shop.
Thanks, Kath. Real quick, I'm going to mention we got a nice care package from someone named Mary Kate Ott. And she wrote to Dear Preston and Steve Crew. I reached out to Kathy after she mentioned using homeopathic medicines, and I figured you could all use some cold, flu, stress, and sleep help. Mm-hmm. And I also included...
Arnicare,
what's that?
Is it called Arnicare?
It is called Boiron.
Oh, okay.
Boiron. And she says, I also included some medicine specific to the 2 ladies in the studio.
Yes.
And even some hangover relief for those of you who drink. I love her show. Happy holidays, Mary Kate. So
it's really generous. There's a whole bunch, Kathy, there's a whole bunch of homeopathic stuff in this box for all different kind of...
And Arnicare is in there.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But there are other brands as well.
Yeah, I had I think she may have been at camp out too, and I spoke to her about it.
All good. So thank you. We do appreciate that, Mary Kate. Was that you, Kathy?
You guys can hand the whole box over to me.
I had to text my wife in the commercial break. I go, just so you know, that's Kathy coughing in the background, not me.
Yeah, Case came down with COVID. He's wearing a mask this morning. And listen, that week takes its toll. It beats you up. I mean, we're not only, talking for long hours and usually, dealing with cold weather and so on, but we're also meeting lots and lots of people. And when hands touch hands and we're doing that, somebody's going to get sick. It happens every year. It's just the way it goes.
You're exactly right. We're going to talk about it in the next break. But this one in particular, because of what we had scheduled and what was going on, was very enervating. So defenses came down.
Yep. So thank you. We do appreciate the care package. I think it's time for Totally Presbo.
Whoa.
We didn't do that at all last week.
Totally Presbo.
Hi,
Presbo.
Thank you, Getty. So one of the things I missed on touching on, because we had so much going on at camp out, there were a few things that came and went that I think were worth mentioning, because we do this every year. Pantone chose their color of the year for 2025.
It's funny because I sensed this was going on last week, and I just felt it.
You just felt it?
That the new color was coming out.
Well, now you are right, sir. Your intuition was correct.
I feel like we've gotten so many colors.
Let me see if I can psychically tie into.
Okay.
Are you going to try to guess it?
Yes. Or at least close to it.
Yeah, a shade. I'll take anything in that realm.
Because they've been going more earthy in years past. I'm going to go with something
You're on the
a little bit more flamboyant.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with something purplish.
Purplish. Okay. Anybody else?
So I was going to go purple as well, but it's only because I watched all of Penguin in one day yesterday.
Yes.
But I also
makes sense.
I was curious as to what the color was last year, because I think the color last year was it more orangey.
I don't remember.
Hold on, wait. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too.
My pronouncement came from the recesses of my ass.
Yeah, because I'm going like more of a.
Last year was Viva Magenta.
Magenta.
That's not what I'm saying.
2023.
That's 2023. You're 2024 was Peach Fuzz case.
Peach Fuzz.
Peach Fuzz. All right, so yeah, you're right, Kath. I looked up. I was thinking of
I know.
this past year. This is they're looking towards the future.
They look towards the future because they use it a lot for fashion.
Yeah,
They
I think
do.
more like lavender.
So did we see a lot of peachy colors in the that you noticed in fashion this past year, Kathy?
That's a good question.
I wouldn't recognize a murderer at a McDonald's, so there's no way I'm going to notice if Peach Fuzz is ending up on the color palettes of designers.
All right. Well, the new color, the color of the year 2025.
How off is that?
You were way off.
Oh man.
It is actually more earthy, Steve.
Son of a bitch!
That's why I thought you were going.
I should have.
Nope. It's called Mocha Mousse.
Mocha Mousse.
It's a very
mousse?
demure brown. Yeah, Moose should have told you.
Okay.
Why don't you forget the moose?
Yep.
For a moment.
So here's why I support this, because I love chocolate mousse. I love mocha mousse. Yeah, I'm down with this.
Okay. According to Pantone
It does look like poop.
Color Institute Executive Director Latrice Eisman, Mocha Mousse is a, quote, color that reflects the need for harmony. And Lori Pressman, Pantone Color Institute Vice President, explains that the color is, quote, a reflection of the current needs of the world as opposed to a forecast of what's on trend.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
But what does it look like? She described it as a, quote, mellow brown infused with a sensorial and comforting warmth. To choose the color, a team from around the world looks at everything from new technologies to travel destinations to social values to get the overall mood or feelings of designers and other people throughout
come home, honey. I'm looking for a new color.
the year. Mocha Mousse is a neutral shade that is genderless and practical, according to Pressman. This is a color that's honest. It's authentic.
It is.
She says, we believe in this. It's a color we see in nature. We know it's real.
Oh man, it's everything you want in a chocolate mousse.
Yeah, so that's apparently going to be taking over fashion next
To be
year.
honest, I see. So, Nick, you've mentioned that with your wife being an artist, how this actually does hold sway over where things go.
I mean, I recused myself from answering the question because I knew, because in
Did she
artist
come bursting
world-
into the room?
No, but I mean, it kind of is big news in art world,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like it sort of sets the tone for what might happen in the next year. And essentially, Steve, where it's kind of important is like what people are buying. So if you're looking to create something that will sell and it reflects the vibes and haute couture and whatever else, then this actually makes a difference.
It's funny.
Doesn't she, like my friend who is in fashion, like she knows the color before it's released?
Yes. I don't know if Andrea knew, but I don't think that she was surprised by it.
Yeah.
I think, and you referenced it, Preston, the breakdown of how these things go in The Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
How these decisions will influence what you're seeing in Target in a year and a half.
And does it affect us in this room a lot?
Well,
I mean,
critically.
Yeah.
Well, I think no, like you'll see this color everywhere. So like
Right.
people like Andrea or my friend who works in fashion, and she says this all the time, which means I tell her it means nothing to the general public, and she should stop saying it. But she'll say, "Oh, I started wearing that 2 years ago," because when they're in that industry, they know about it before it gets to places like Target, where you or I are grabbing it off the shelf and taking it home to wear it. So
this is Queen Bee, and she needs to be perceived as a ahead of the curve, right?
Right, but saying I wore that 2 years ago means nothing to us. It means something to the people in the industry, because that's what they're doing. They're wearing that stuff before we even see it or know what it is. But to us or the person that's looking at it or watching,
is that a badge of honor that you knew before everybody else did?
I think in her industry, yeah. But that's what I try to explain to her, that the normal person, that means nothing. You just sound pompous.
Well, stop and think about it. We're a little bit more high profile, not on this level. But I make a decision about what shorts I'm going to wear, what I'm going to be seen in,
what Nike shorts
which Nike shorts I'm going to wear.
That there will be a wave of influence that happens right after that. Damn it, Steve, you cannot do that irresponsibly.
No, I hold the future of a generation in my selection.
I feel like we don't, like the guys on this show don't like. We just go with Old Faithful, right? Like, so, Kath, let me ask you, because
that's our favorite geyser.
If I'm getting dressed up, let's say I'm going to like one of the kids' school functions or something like that, and I needed to get dressed up, I'll put on my fashion jeans, right? But
I love that you have fashion jeans,
right.
though. I do.
I like calling them fashion jeans because it makes
Elisa would definitely approve of your terminology.
Yeah. All right. So, but the top that I wear, it's usually just like a polo shirt. You know what I mean?
And you look beautiful.
And I know that bothered Angela Perfetto. She, when I would see her, like, let's say the calendar release party, she's like, ugh, polo shirt again. I'm like, it works.
Because
it's got a collar, and you know what I mean?
Well, because that was in style when you were in college, and that's what you would wear when you would get dressed up. That's what you would put on.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Steve and I, however, have a whole array of nice T-shirts.
Yes.
Our formal T-shirts that we wear.
Fashion T-shirts.
I have my recent influx of shirts that I really find very comfortable. Tri-blend.
Yeah.
Essentially single color.
Single color.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. That's our nice shirts.
T-shirt, band, T-shirt.
You notice they're wrinkleless. You could back a car over them and they'll still say completely pressed.
I mean, I appreciate that you don't come in all wrinkled.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you. I'm not wrinkled, and I am.
Somebody cares.
Hygienic. I'm.
It doesn't go unnoticed.
Bathed.
But I posted the Westchester Parade on Friday night, which was amazing.
It did look amazing.
There was like 20,000 people there. It was crazy. Anyway, hosted with 6ABC's Adam Joseph.
He's a fashion plate.
Talk about somebody who knows about fashion and dresses well. He was like, I felt weird standing next to him. I'm like, I need a better outfit.
The word I had to describe him is sharp.
Yeah.
So I'll show you the text, Jane, because he's forever asking, what should I wear?
Okay, you guys, we don't have time for that right now.
Shorts?
All right, so Mocha.
Which Nike shorts?
Mocha Mousse is going to be the color of 2025, by the way.
Wow,
All right,
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
Totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
All right, so most of us have a routine on a normal day. You eat 3 meals, you go to work, maybe you exercise, you have a sleep schedule,
and then it's off to work.
When we're traveling, we tend to be much more flexible about all that, starting with when we are at the airport, and that's when it's okay to have pizza for breakfast, a cocktail in the middle of the day, because you're waiting around there, and apparently there are airport rules in effect, and a new trend on TikTok has people embracing airport rules every day.
All right.
The idea of applying these rules to everyday life started as a bit of a joke ahead of Election Day as a way to cope with stress. So apparently it's just like it's being as much of a slob and eating as much as you want.
I don't think I'm going to like this.
This is not going to work long term. So in a now viral video, this particular TikToker said airport rules are in effect. Money/time, they mean nothing to us now. You want to drink at 9 a.m.? I'm not going to encourage it, but I'm not going to judge you for it. But the trend isn't over, as fans of airport rules have decided they're in effect the rest of the year and beyond. So some people had commented saying comfy clothes at all times, bathrobes in public are understandable, Drinking at all hours allowed. Coffee/energy drinks at all hours also allowed.
So there's primarily, if you're talking about consumption, you're talking about alcohol early, right?
Yeah.
So, but food-wise, it's not like Cinnabon at 6 a.m.
I guess that too, maybe. I don't know. It's whatever you want. Which is this is dumb. This is
dumb.
this is going to last you a week and a half, and then you're going to go. I feel horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
But
Do you? So
it's not even a thing. It's just somebody hoping that it'll be a thing.
Yeah, trying hard to make it. It's like fetch.
Yeah.
But I would. When you go to the airport. So I don't go crazy. I don't ever eat and sit down and eat a full meal in advance of a flight.
Well, it depends on how much time I have. If I'm there a couple hours early and it's mealtime, I definitely will. But I do make observations of the people and the time of day it is and who all's in the bar. Because it's like that. I kind of used to be this way too. Hey, I'm traveling. I'm drinking. You know what I mean? Whether I feel like it or not.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Some bizarre license to go ahead and do it, even though I'm not necessarily feel like drinking. I've quit doing that since. And I used to always order a cocktail on the plane, too.
Oh, really?
I'm not saying that I don't. I'm saying I don't do it just because I'm flying. I will do it if I feel like having a drink now, as opposed to I bizarrely felt you're flying, therefore you should drink now.
to it.
But you started to fly a little bit more now, not for vacation or whatever.
Right,
You got to
for
go
other
see
reasons.
your mom and all of that. So
and you're a drug mule.
Well, no, but I could see maybe you don't really feel like having a cocktail and you're going to see, your mother who's not doing well. But I'm a airport cocktail person. It doesn't matter what time it is.
You're an on the way to the airport cocktail person.
Steve, if it's like I'm going to get on a 7 a.m. flight, I'm like, well, I'll just have a mimosa.
Really?
I'll have a mimosa then.
Really? So if you're going on vacation, you'll do that?
Well, yeah, because I'm not flying like Preston, to go.
Okay.
Normally, I'm flying for a vacation or, a little getaway. So, yeah, I'm going to have a mimosa.
7 a.m. mimosa.
7 a.m. mimosa, I will have one.
Let me ask you if you do this when you're picking someone up at the airport. Do you? We usually bring a small cooler along with us in the car for whom we're picking up.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, who happens to be in town for visiting or whatever. Yeah, we always have a cooler with beer and wine, stuff like that.
So they can have a cocktail
on the way home. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on. Can we? All right.
I mean, technically, you're not supposed to have open containers in the vehicle, but I'm not drinking.
Well, you just
if I'm
pull
driving.
over.
Yeah,
That was your wife's idea, wasn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. She's definitely that's her style.
That's her caring for people that haven't even landed yet.
At the Thanksgiving Day parade, we get into the vehicle and, taking us back to the cars here, and Rochelle, in classic fashion, starts pulling out a mini bakery from her.
Yes.
Who wants a muffin? Who wants a cookie? And Claire looks at me and she goes, I'm not that good.
So my buddy, his in-laws, they come there. Where do they live now? I think they live back in Texas now. But every time they fly in, they take them straight to Romano's Deli, which is right next to the airport. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There's a thing called airport rules.
Okay.
If you want to live that way, try it out for a couple weeks. See how that goes for you.
Does it go to the bathroom too, where you can't have more than 3 ounces of shampoo and stuff like that?
It probably does. I don't know if you can take it to that level if you want to. All right, here's something else.
Totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
According to a new study, I could have put this in the Justine Institute, but I put it here. If you use lots of emojis while messaging, you may be more emotionally intelligent or better able to understand both your emotions and those of others. What?
I do it all the time.
You're an emoji hog?
Oh, yeah.
And Nick and I talk about emotional. What's the
Intelligence.
Is it emotional? Okay, emotional intelligence.
maturity,
People who maturity. That's it. People who are emotionally immature and emotionally mature. And yes, both Nick and I use emojis a lot.
Do you feel that you're emotionally mature then?
I think so.
Yeah, but we have someone.
What would be the delineation? What would establish you as emotionally mature?
I think somebody who's mindful, empathetic, sympathetic as well. Somebody who kind of like has evolved over the years and acknowledged mistakes that they made and try to live a better life at this point.
Oh, that describes Kathy to a T.
What? Screw you guys. What the hell does that mean?
Also
It means you're a regular.
Controlling your anger, that's emotional intelligence.
She's a regular, just an angel.
Yeah, didn't you know? Look at her there.
A man angel right now.
I think
A mangel.
Yeah, a angel.
Nick,
This should be the next emoji.
Nick, I thought I used emojis a lot as well in text messages, and I'm going back through like a text chain with you. going back to October 31st, that's the last time any of us used an emoji in a text.
Well, I don't do it in the group text.
Okay. No, this is just personal.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I do it with certain people.
Okay.
But with the it's an easy way for me to respond. Like if the conversation,
I think it's harder.
Well, but if the conversation is coming
words.
to like an end, and like I don't want to leave it and not respond, I give like a smiley face or a crying face or an angry face or whatever.
I'll do those from time to time, and for a flourish, I will add I don't use the emoji. Sometimes I'll use it to communicate that way with a smiley face or not the thumbs up, but a few other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll use the other ones as an accentuation, like, hey, we're going to get together, can't wait to get together for a beer with you. And then I'll have a little beer.
Yeah.
Pop up or something like that. Or, we're going to go play golf and I have the little dude swinging the golf club, but I don't.
Brown hat, curly hair, smiley face.
All the emojis.
But I don't use it to replace words, usually.
Okay.
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
What
do.
are words for if no one was...
Listen, come on.
No, I know what you mean. So mine, which you will see all of the time, is the crying, laughing, straight face, crying, laughing, tilted face.
Yeah,
That's
right.
like that's my thing. That's what I will respond with if somebody sends something funny. And then and I've told you guys this before, the thumbs up for me and a friend of
It's
mine.
like a way to go, buddy.
Antiseptical?
It's like a I'm pissed.
Oh.
Screw you.
Oh.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Jerk off.
So if you give a thumbs up response to something, you're saying, okay, jerk off.
Now listen, but I'm not going to, you guys don't know that.
Will you
so
write jerk off?
No. Like you guys don't know that, so I wouldn't use that with you. But like when I talk to my friend, if we have some sort of argument, and it's a few of us, but if we have some sort of argument and you get the thumbs up back, like it happened just past week at camp out. She wanted me to quickly meet her, and I was like, okay, fine, I will. And then last minute, I was like, look, I got to be back at camp out at this time. Like, it's not going to work. And I got the thumbs up.
No, she didn't.
You know what I'm doing all week.
Wow.
Like,
I would have sent her a double thumbs up back.
I should have.
Did you call her out?
No, I didn't. You just leave it. She's pissed. I'm going to let her breathe.
All right.
So
Is there a middle finger?
There is. You can use one.
You can't in text form. You can't layer your emojis, but in like Instagram, you guys know you can like layer
What do you
the
mean?
emojis, meaning like put one emoji on top of the other, and you can do it
And reveal them?
No. What I'm trying to say here is that if you layer these three emojis, it looks like somebody is performing
Sucking
oral
on?
sex.
On a chili dog?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
I had a weird thing happen with my phone the other day in a text. I was texting somebody and I used the word huge in the text. And I was saying, this will be a huge help. And the word huge in my text inflated itself. It got
yeah.
huge.
Yes.
So
It's with the update.
it's the update.
Yeah.
So I had one the other day. I sent one to Carter, and on one of the lines, my finger hit the screen. I was trying to do something else, and I okayed, but apparently it made the words like jiggle and shake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I sent it already, and
You
I'm
couldn't
like,
stop it.
I sent the next message is like total old man message, like, dude, I don't know how that happened, but
I
it
don't
did.
either.
There's a new update. I made that happen. Sorry about that. He's like, man, I thought something was wrong with my eyes.
So occasionally, I'm sending someone, the proper name, and the name will suddenly like get large and become like blue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like it almost
So
like tags them.
Yeah, our dog groomer Marissa, I'll send her a message and pops up to Marissa all blue and like, okay. I don't know how to change it, so that's the way it's always going to be.
I do, and this is a step to the side conversation of this, but on FaceTime, my buddy Steve and I, this was like last year or something like that, or maybe earlier this year, we were, sometimes we'll get together and smoke a cigar, drink some beers, and chat, and this and that, and I guess it was, one of us said something, we just went double thumbs up like that without saying anything, and then balloons started popping. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So now I know all of them. I know all of the things. You can make lasers, you can make it rain, you can do all this. That cracked us up. We were in hysterics because it happened by accident.
And
we're like, oh my God, how drunk are we?
What they'll do now is a preamble to like to Zoom conferences and corporate meetings that are going on online. They will tell people ahead of time, disengage that.
Right.
Because you don't want
by accident.
balloons to pop up.
I like the balloons for someone's birthday.
Oh,
Like you
when
send,
you're sending a
you
text.
send happy
Those
birthday
are
and
fun.
then you send the balloons with it.
Yeah, exactly. But there's like there's a bunch of different little tricks, and now with the update,
Yep.
You got to find out what the new ones are. So, by the way, they found that the researchers at Indiana University surveyed 320 adults about their emoji use, emotional intelligence, and attachment styles. They found that participants often use emojis to clear up any confusion about the tone of what they're trying to communicate, or to lighten the mood, which I definitely see that as usable.
That's a quick way to lighten the mood.
So they concluded that people who use a lot of emojis tend to have higher emotional intelligence, which is the ability to understand, perceive, and manage your emotions and the emotions of others. But those who use emojis less often with friends or romantic partners are associated with a personality style known as avoidant attachment, which can include making independence a priority over emotional closeness and intimacy.
So I would say that I'm very empathetic. And it sounds self-aggrandizing to say something like that. But I could also see myself being a bit of a loner.
Yeah, independent.
An edgy loner, maybe like James Dean in Rebel Without a Cause.
Okay, I always thought of you
maybe
as
like
that,
with
Steve.
the red jacket outside the planetarium with Natalie Wood.
Yeah.
That's me.
This is so you fantasized.
I might have overthought that. Or maybe Keanu Reeves in a Paula Abdul video. You ever loved? I don't know.
You just answered your own question.
What? Where did you come from? Why are you wearing that face mask?
All right. So anyhow, if you use a lot of emojis, you may be more emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
Just
you might be.
Giving you a heads up on it.
All right, one more. Totally Presbo.
Hi, Presbo.
All right, last one. Bookretreats.com has rated 76 global destinations to find the world's most relaxing place.
The world's most relaxing place.
Yeah, we're at the year end for these type of list things.
Is it like an island somewhere, like a resort?
No, it's I think it's by country.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's kind of broad in that sense, but they scored the destinations on 9 factors. The percentage
If you say Abu Dhabi, I'm going to freak.
No, the percentage of protected areas, forest coverage, crowd density, noise and light pollution, peacefulness, and wellness experiences.
What about room service?
Those are the parameters. And, of course, most importantly, room service. So Australia tops the list.
I don't think that.
It gets a boost from the lack of crowds there.
Yeah.
You don't
That's
buy
because
that?
I think the lack of crowds is a direct result of everyone being killed by the things that are there that are lethal. No, I can see that. We actually had a lovely, when we had our makeup influencer here, her handler was from Sydney, and she was delightful. I think the Aussies are delightful people. So maybe I do see that.
In Australia, density is just 3.4 people per square kilometer, while in Italy it's around 198 people per square kilometer.
It's a lot of spaghetti.
Yep. Europe dominates the list, by the way, and takes 7 of the top 10 spots. So I'll just rattle off the most
relaxing
places in the world. Australia is number 1. Canada is number 2. Iceland is number 3. Nick, you've been there. Would you call that relaxing?
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, I was going to see if that was on the list. And a lot of these are sparsely populated. I think there's like 750,000 people in Iceland total. Something like 80% or 90% of all of Canada's population lives within a 100-mile distance of the U.S. border. Everything above that is really sparsely populated.
Yep. Number 4 is Finland.
Just for clarity, you're saying that Australia's in Europe?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No, but the 7 of the top 10 spots are European destinations.
All right.
So New Zealand was number 5. Would like to get there someday.
Yes.
Number 6 is Austria. Been there. It's gorgeous.
I just said Austria. Oh, that's Australia. Now I get it.
Number 7 is Sweden.
You've been many times.
I have been, and it's beautiful and relaxing. Number 8 is Estonia. Number 9 is Norway, and that's gorgeous and very sparsely populated, at least the areas that I went to. And number 10 is Portugal.
Oh, wow. I know a lot of people that went to Portugal in the last year, and I've heard Estonia is really cool to visit. It's one of the Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. The problem with Estonia is that it's right next to Russia, and some people are like nervous by that.
I gotcha.
So Portugal is the hot spot to go to now. My brother just went. My sister-in-law is Portuguese and speaks Portuguese. But
he speaks Portuguese?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's supposed to be a pretty amazing place.
Yeah,
The largest expat community of Americans in Europe is in Portugal. There are more Americans living abroad in Portugal than any other country in Europe.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? Until that that series, the 100-foot wave thing, I was not aware of.
Oh, the raging,
how gorgeous it is out there. Yeah, they have this this area where these waves just get massively huge, and these people surf them. It's just
anything else would be a waste of time.
I didn't know that was out that way. Wait a minute, that was Point Break.
That would be a waste of time.
Hey, where did Bodie die? Was that Australia?
It was Australia.
Yeah, it was the humunga cowabunga from down under is what he died on.
What was it, Bells? That's the area?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, Bell's Bay.
Bell's palsy.
Not Bell's palsy.
Where are we going?
Dude, what's wrong with your face? That's where the 50-year storm was coming
Where
out.
you from?
You going to paddle to New Zealand?
I sure am.
Yep, okay. All right.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
Seriously. Okay, all right.
It all comes back to Point Break.
All right. Doesn't it always? That's all we have time for.
Bye, Presbo.
Yeah, bye. Thank you, Getty. All right, we will take a break. When we return, I do indeed have some bizarre file stories to share with you. We, shortly after that, are going to get our totals from the Camp Out for Hunger this year and talk to our fellows from Kamelot Productions who did the drone footage. We will see it. We haven't seen it yet. We'll share it with you as well. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us, please.
Preston and Steve.
I got all the blood you need.
You should get, for Halloween one year, you should go as a butcher, like with blood splattered, apron and everything. That'd be perfect.
A vegetarian butcher with all the zucchinis hanging from
Yes. and mangled tofu hanging from my locks.
Mangled tofu hanging from your locks?
Mangled tofu would be like dreadlocks, but tofu locks.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Actually,
we're cooking with gas now, mustard.
Oh, my God.
Please welcome the one and only Mr. John Travolta to our studio. Good morning, John.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Nice to see you.
You sound good.
Thank you. I feel good. I feel very good. You know what? As I was introducing you, and I said, welcome to Philadelphia. You shot a film here in Philadelphia.
I did. I shot Blowout.
Yeah.
Which is a Brian De Palma great movie.
Yeah, thank you. I agree.
So this movie, we want to talk about The Fanatic, which is I started watching it, I wanted to go into it cold, and it's a big departure for the kind of roles that you play. Mm-hmm. It's a horror suspense, but it also takes a peek inside the world of TMZ and fandom run Fanatical. And your character is very unique. And from what I understand, the character was written with you in mind. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. Fred Durst from the Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
He wrote it, and he directed it. And I will say that he is quite inspired as a director and as an actor even.
Right.
And he helped quite a bit. He would improvise with me prior to the takes, and he designed this character, and I understood it because I am a fan. I'm a fan as much as we all are. And I think if you don't understand that, whether it's sports or whether it's the arts or icons or whomever you admire, you can't do this kind of role.
It's funny because John, because I collect things. I'm a massive movie fan. I'm a huge fan of yours as well. And there's something that, and it's your character exemplifies in the movies. Well, just to be able to get the tactile sensation of touching something that a celebrity or there's this bizarre thing. I remember it's odd, as I was watching the movie, I was thinking the story that Gene Siskel of Siskel and Ebert, it was very important for him to own the white suit that you wore on Saturday
That's
night.
Correct.
And he owned that. It was a holy grail for him.
Yes,
so
and then Jane Fonda bought it.
Right. So
you're completely correct. But this particular guy, this character I play, is he's a man-child. He is maybe a little bit on the spectrum, which explains his irrational behavior. However, that being said, he's picked on and bullied at work, and everyone bullies him, but he's so used to it that he handles it. But when his favorite person in the world bullies him, this movie star, he doesn't know how to handle it. He gets confused. And when he gets confused, he does really odd things. And you'll see in the film that he goes over the line, but so does the movie star.
Yeah, and
the movie star goes over the line equally as well, by torture.
And his inability to pick up on social cues, it takes it down a path where it's like, oh no.
Correct.
And I got to tell you, John, the entire time while watching this movie, I don't think there was a moment where something on my body wasn't clenched.
Yeah.
Whether it was my hands or my mouth or even my butt cheeks. I mean, I was just like, it was tense.
Well, because
the
it's
whing.
Nothing times up. The point when you finally get to have this moment with Hunter Dunbar's his name is the character. He has a bad experience, and you just happen to come upon him at that time, and it never syncs up right. So that starts.
That's correct. It's also a movie about bad timing.
Yeah, and then some.
Because if he had just been in the right mood and had his autograph, he would have been over.
Yeah.
But of course, then we wouldn't have had a movie.
Yes.
But what I thought was brilliant was that I loved that your character before all that started to happen. So I almost felt bad, and I was like, well, it's not that bad that he's doing some of these things, But then it progresses into the movie. But you really made me love that character before you found out the other stuff.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted him to be loved because I feel like everyone is a little bit of the character Moose.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a little Moose in us. It's just how far do we take it? And if we didn't have Moose in us, how would we be, ourselves to create an effect on others?
Yeah, I might be in your plane later.
Well, Hunter Devon Sawa, is that the actor who's playing Hunter?
Correct.
Yeah. So again, nobody's all that awesome in this. Everyone's got, even his friends, or quote unquote friends, are not that good as far as friends.
Correct.
And I like that because that's sort of real. But I like also the peek into the side of the people who are out on the street who make money. You're dressing up as a Bobby, to pick up some money, and there are these things going on in that world that sort of, for some reason, Hollywood, when depicted in a seedier fashion, always appeals to me. It's like a Raymond Chandler sort of.
Well, also maybe that's a bit of the truth.
Yeah. But in a way, that's sort of, and that's almost sort of enticing too. That bizarre aspect.
Yeah, I love how L.A. is depicted in this film. I think it's very real and tragic almost.
I thought in watching the movie at first, and now seeing you today, I probably know it's not the case, but I thought maybe you would cut your own hair for the role.
No, it was really cool because I said, when I loved the script and wanted to do it, I said to Fred Durst, what do we do about how he looks? I mean, the Hawaiian shirt was an obvious kind of choice. There's bad shorts and bad sneakers and all that. But I said, what about the hair?
Yeah.
And the look? And he said, well, what do you think about mullets? And I said, I don't know. It's overdone. And he said, well, there's a lot of different kinds. Would you care to look? So I looked on the internet, about 100 different types, and boom, suddenly there was this dude, with the exact haircut Moose has, with glasses. And I texted it to Fred, and I said, I found the look. I found it. And he said, I agree. This is the right way to go.
I have to tell you, I was at it, and when I saw this character of Moose, I've told you guys this story. I was at a convention one time, one of these conventions. I am a real fan like this, not Moose level, and Adam West was there, the original Batman.
Man,
so everyone's
Adam
there.
West.
There was a guy who looks exactly like your character in this knapsack, the whole thing, the backpack. With about 50 cans of Fresca in that thing, and that same sort of delivery. And you work on this character with that, Mr. West, and he's sort of that thing. And so your heart sort of that this is not just a hobby; it's his life.
And there is a difference. There's the professional fan that usurps signatures and sells them.
Right.
And then there's the guy that ain't selling nothing.
Yeah.
And is going to keep it. And that's Moose. Moose is not getting rid of any of his memorabilia at all. So how do you detect the difference? I don't know.
Yeah.
But definitely there is a difference.
And you're known to be fan friendly. When the opportunity is right and that person does approach you
respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. Do you know what you're giving them? I would think, this is a very special moment for them.
Absolutely. And I grew up being a fan, so I understood.
Right.
And I remember a very famous movie star who will remain nameless, but he kind of, just discarded my. This is before I was famous, and I decided that if I ever became famous, I would never do that. So I lived by that motto, But again, how do you navigate the the line of privacy and
It is a tough line because, and again, with people who approach you, and you know, we always think in that. Listen, we're on local radio, but whatever the stories, if somebody comes up, it's every time the edict is you shake hands, you say hi, you do the deal because that's an important thing, and you know, sometimes as what happens with Hunter, the star in this, he lets his life cloud his remembering because it starts off with a quote from him, "I'm nothing without my fans," but he doesn't abide by that.
Well, sometimes there are good people that are bad celebrities.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Right.
So my cure to that always has been don't go out unless you're in the mood for it.
That's good. Good rule. Yeah.
You know, are you in the frame of mind if you go out to dinner to be interrupted, bothered, whatever, take pictures? And if you are, go out.
Yeah.
If you're not, that's just part of the very small price you pay for this glorious life that we have.
Well, case in point, in 1996, you met a nice 21-year-old young man in Beverly Hills, California, and I had a job at the time where I was driving around cars for Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Beverly Hills, and I saw you, and the only thing that I could think to say was, "Oh my God, that's John Travolta," and you came over and you looked me in the eye just like you did 10 minutes ago and shook my hand and said, "Hi, it's very nice to meet you." And then you went about your day, but you couldn't have been more pleasant. And I've heard countless stories of how kind you are to people, and it's not hard to be nice. And I think people just lose sight of that. It's really easy to just be a decent, nice person to everybody else.
Let's face it, what you resist, you become. The more you withdraw from it, the worse it gets. So just, own it.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to tell you on the shaved head thing, I endorse it 100%.
You look good.
There's a movie that I love of yours. A lot of people are not familiar with it. They should be. It's From Paris with Love.
Oh, hell yeah.
And damn, you are the baddest badass in that movie. Preston, this movie will rock your world. And John is amazing at it. Who's the director of that?
That's the guy that did oh gosh, you've tested me now.
Yeah, he's great. He's done a whole bunch of stuff that's similar.
Fantastic.
But did you enjoy making that film?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Because they were demanding stunts and action that I've never, had done before, and I had to do them myself. And I loved the badass character. He was just whatever. He was bold.
Yeah.
Pierre Morel, is that it?
Yes, there's
Pierre
some
Morel.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Well, I looked it up.
You've
so.
saved me.
What would you prefer, stunts or dancing?
Dancing.
Come on.
Any day.
Well, did Pitbull inspire?
Yeah, he's my buddy.
He's your buddy. You're in a video of his.
I love my Pitbull. He's. I met him 3 years ago just to reach out and tell him, how much as a fan.
Right.
And then he's such a brilliant entrepreneur. He got thinking about it, and he said, maybe I should put him in one of my videos dancing, because nobody's dancing very much anymore.
Right.
He does, but nobody else really. So I thought, well, hell, I'll join him. And
I think Christopher. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I think Christopher Walken has danced in every single movie, even if it's for just a
Tiny
quick
bit.
shuffle step. I think in every single role he's ever done.
Got a Broadway history. Music. Yeah,
and you danced with him in Hairspray.
I certainly did.
Yes.
He played my husband.
That's right.
So I wanted to ask you, because you had 3 movies in a row that I really loved of yours, and it started with Wild Hogs. I can't believe I loved it as much as I was laughing out loud.
It's a funny movie.
It is a funny movie. It really is. It surprised me with how funny it was. I don't know if that's a backhanded compliment or whatever, but
no, it's a funny movie, and who would have thought a bunch of old guys in motorcycles would be that funny?
But your character as Edna Turnblatt in Hairspray, and I love that movie. I have songs from that movie in my iPod. You Can't Stop the Beat is a really, really great song.
Great. Yeah.
And then followed by Bolt. And speaking of songs,
he's not kidding.
I'm not kidding. I have I Nearly Lost You. It was a duet that you did with Miley Cyrus. Yes. I have that on my iPod.
Do you really?
I do. And I thought you sounded great in that. So this is a long diatribe. But what do you prefer, singing or dancing?
I'd still prefer dancing, but I enjoy singing because I did both as an early professional. Yeah. In order to work in New York, you had to sing, you had to act, you had to dance. 3 chances of getting employment.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
But I'm most comfortable dancing, and then, and then probably acting and singing. I just happened to be able to hold a pretty good tune, you know.
Well,
I had a very high, like almost a high baritone or tenor.
You still do.
Voice, yes.
You still do. I mean, in Bolt, in that song, and I would ask anybody that, you know, has an iTunes account or whatever, listen to the song if you haven't heard it before. It's the song that ends.
He's played it for us many times.
Maybe, but it's the song that runs at the end of the movie.
Well, it just seems that my voice is like, for instance, You're the One That I Want in Greece.
Yeah.
And Bolt song, there's this high, you know, range that I sing in that it's kind of different than most people. So it's kind of identifiable as my niche or something as a singer.
I love the way you sing. You're the one that, because you're the one that I want.
Yeah. A lot of yodels in that song.
UMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Real quick before we get into the Bizarre File, I wanted to mention our Christmas Miracle Live broadcast coming up December 19th in Phoenixville at the Colonial Theaters, presented by Phoenixville First. And I need a little assistance because I have not gone to my local appliance dealer to look for this yet. But I wanted to see if maybe somebody could help me out. But I need a very large box.
Oh.
I need, because last year we had, my wife and I created this isolation box. And we put a lot of time and effort into it. It turned out great. People ended up taking pictures with it and this whole deal. But that was from we had bought a new Christmas tree.
Yes.
That's the box that
and
I
the
used.
box is gone.
It was perfect, too. So we were done with it, and it's gone. So I need, like, a box that's a minimum of, like, 6 feet high, 6 feet tall.
Like a double refrigerator, like a double door refrigerator?
Yeah, I'm not sure how tall, if a refrigerator.
Right.
The Christmas tree box was perfect.
Yeah.
Just buy another $1,000 Christmas tree.
That's all I need to do.
Yeah.
So anyway, if anybody knows a large box that is available for me to use, and I'm sure I could go by my local, Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that and see if they have any extras laying around. But
would you?
I need it. I need to get that set.
Do you want to be part of the creation, or would you feel comfortable turning it over to someone who would design?
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, we did a pretty damn good job.
You did a damn good job, but you are a busy man.
Yeah.
Also, you're less time, right after the camp out going into this. Is that on the table?
I don't hate that.
If someone would want to do it.
What about one of our Cardboard Classic guys?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they have access to cardboard. They're great designers.
Yeah.
There was a bit of charm to it, not looking 100%. But I would say this. It's for really Kathy's favorite contest that we do.
Wait, what do you mean it didn't look 100%? That thing was freaking awesome.
I heard that, and I was hurt on your behalf.
It was badass.
It didn't look like it rolled off the construction line at
Wow.
it looked damn good.
Rockefeller, yeah.
Right? It was gift wrapped, it looked nice, but I think people enjoyed the homemade nature of it.
It looked homemade. That's okay.
Yes,
That's
it was homemade.
Yeah.
And that was the charm.
It wasn't like the Wawa sled at the Cardboard Classic.
Exactly.
It looked like a kid had done it, Preston.
Oh my God, you guys.
Jeez.
Preston, I am not a part of this. I am not a part of this.
I didn't say
Well,
that.
and listen, what I was going to say was someone is getting something for the holidays that's coming in a large box. Like, we've got to be able to find one.
So just open up that present early.
Yeah. All right. So what?
No. Just even looking at it, like it wasn't even.
Actually, not even 6 feet
Not even
tall.
6
Yeah,
feet tall.
Marissa. It was.
I remember some people had to duck down a little bit, and that actually made it better.
No, but like a refrigerator box would be perfect. And I have a question
Yeah,
for you,
you're right.
Preston. Are you
Yep.
taller than your refrigerator?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like.
All right. Anyhow, let's see. Somebody says, dude, you guys are sponsored by Acme Corrugated Boxes. Give those guys a call. Well, why didn't I think of that? Maybe I could. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well,
Yeah, I
thanks
don't know. Do
for
they
the
still help
tip.
out Camp Out for Hunger?
Yeah, they did at one point.
So many different people. And also at
Sun Rocket.
Cardboard Classic. Anyhow, if you can help, email me, Preston, WMMR.com. Yes, Kathy.
Oh, no, nothing.
Okay, you got your hand up there.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
I don't have my finger up. I just have my hands
I know,
here.
but you look
I know
like you
sometimes
were
it's-
waiting.
You look
yeah,
like
I got
a bird of prey.
Sorry.
All right, let's get to the B file. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
right, brought to you by what?
No, I remember. I do want to say something at the end.
Okay.
Damn it to hell.
Don't forget.
Brought to you by Red Robin. They've got holiday gifts all wrapped. Give the gift of Yum with a $30 Red Robin holiday gift card and get a $5 bonus buck reward for you now through December 31st. Red Robin Yum. An alternative healer who advocated slapping therapy to treat a range of maladies was sentenced Friday to 10 years in prison. This is in London after the death of a 71-year-old diabetic woman who stopped taking insulin during one of his workshops.
So, like, slapping the crap out of this person?
Yeah. Well, I'll explain. So, Hongqi Zhao was convicted of manslaughter by gross negligence for failing to get medical help for Danielle Gom as she howled in pain and frothed at the mouth during the fourth day of a workshop.
Wow.
So Zhao of Cloudbreak, California promoted, it's called Peda Lajin therapy. And they would get patients to slap themselves repeatedly to release, quote, poisonous waste from the body. Yeah, that'll fix your diabetes.
It's got to work.
The technique,
on paper, it seems to make complete sense.
Has its roots in Chinese medicine, but critics say that it has no scientific basis, and patients also often end up with bruises, bleeds, and worse.
So I go to a professional ball kicker who takes care of all my medical concerns.
So he was extradited from Australia, where he had been convicted of manslaughter after a 6-year-old boy died when his parents withdrew his insulin medication after attending one of his workshops in Sydney. The justice, Robert Bright, said, "I consider you dangerous even though you do not share the characteristics of most other dangerous offenders. You knew from late in the afternoon of day one the fact that Danielle Gom had stopped taking her insulin. Furthermore, you made it clear that you supported this." Bright said that Zhao only made a token effort to get Gom to take her insulin once it was too late and had shown no signs of remorse as he continued to promote Peda Lajin in prison. Gom was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 1999, was desperate to find a cure that didn't involve injecting herself with needles, her son Matthew said. She sought out alternative treatments and had attended a previous workshop a few months before her death, in which she also became seriously ill after ceasing her medication. However, she recorded a video testimonial calling Zhao a messenger sent by God who was starting a revolution to put the power back in the hands of the people to cure themselves and to change the whole system of healthcare.
Jesus.
I know. Zhao had congratulated Gom when she and other participants at the retreat she was at had stopped taking their insulin. By day 3, Gom was vomiting, tired and weak, and by the evening she was howling in pain and unable to respond to questions. A chef who wanted to who wanted to call an ambulance said that she deferred those with holistic healing experience. So
I went to a 4-day workshop to cure my vitiligo that involved slamming my penis in a car door. And I left after 3 days. I realized it's not working.
Yeah, nope. Your skin looks the same. I'm sorry, sir, but you tried.
I tried.
In Texas, this is a story seemingly straight out of a cartoon episode. 2 men were arrested for attempting to enter Kyle Field. I meant to get to this last week. It was on the day of the 2024 Lone Star Showdown, and they didn't have tickets. The catch was the way they tried to get into the stadium. According to the Texas A&M Police Department, the 2 tried to get in by posing as construction workers in reflective vests and hard hats. However, the kicker is the people they were posing as. According to arrest affidavits, the day after the game, the 2 men had pictures of themselves as in their ID photos, and their names were displayed as Harry Ascrack and Duncan McCockiner.
Duncan McCockiner?
Yeah, and so while obviously not their real names, both men were booked into the county jail for criminal trespass the day of the incident and were released.
It's a bummer. They came up with those names and ended up in jail.
The Duncan one I've never heard before.
Me neither. I would have gone with Emerson Biggins.
I do like that one. Yeah. 7 Rutgers students are charged with buying and selling illegal drugs through a private social media app created by a school alum, according to Middlesex County Prosecutor Yolanda Chichone. Announced. So the students used a closed and private social media network utilized by Rutgers University students to sell and purchase narcotics, noting that they use the private social network to purchase marijuana, LSD, cocaine, psychedelic mushrooms, Adderall, and Xanax.
I think you're looking at your next Facebook.
Yolanda said that it was a former Rutgers student who created the private social media site open only to Rutgers students. On the app, people could use post menus of which drugs they had for sale. Rutgers students had to first establish their affiliation with the school before they were allowed to join the network. Once given access, they were able to browse the menus and contact drug dealers and negotiate drug purchases.
Facebook, when it began, was exclusively for colleges, right?
That's correct. Are you saying that this is a budding...
I'm saying you can take this bigger.
This is the next big social media app. 7 Rutgers students were arrested. And then we'll do one more story. This one's a little disturbing, but we're going to end on this. 2 male students at a Lancaster private school have been charged with 59 counts each of sexual abuse of children and possession of child pornography after allegedly using artificial intelligence to create hundreds of nude images of female classmates. So they are not actual photos, but they are created to appear that way.
So Kathy, what they did, and this makes sense because even though these are AI generated pictures, the person being parodied or copied is underage.
Yeah. So the charges came as Lancaster County Day School has been facing mounting pressure over its responses to the deepfakes, which were shared on a social platform and have caused turmoil in the private school community. Both the head of the school and board president resigned last month, a day after parents filed a lawsuit. The incident is the latest scandal involving manipulated social media images to test area schools. Earlier this year, middle school students in the Great Valley School District drew national attention for creating 22 fake TikTok accounts impersonating their teachers, some with sexual depictions, and the district said it was limited in its ability to respond. In announcing the charges, Lancaster County District Attorney Heather Adams said no charges would be filed against the school. Despite the receiving a tip about the nude images in November of 2023, school officials were not required under the letter of the law to report the incident to Childline, the state's hotline for suspected child abuse.
Yeah.
School officials also never notified police. Instead, parents contacted the police in May, reporting the nude images had been created of their daughters. A mother who spoke to the Inquirer said that she had learned of the situation when she picked up her daughter from school and found her crying. She said, "Mom, there's naked pictures of me at school." She said she contacted her daughter's principal and told her that if the school wasn't going to contact the police, she would. The mother initially learned about the 10 other girls at the school were victimized as well. And the images of her daughter said she looked very real and very much like her body. And someone who didn't know that it happened could think that they were real photos. 60 victims have been identified, 48 of whom are students of Lancaster County Day School. The two defendants possessed and altered hundreds of images of students, which they digitally altered to make the images appear pornographic.
Yeah, this could be incredibly traumatic. And, you got to do something.
Yeah. So a spokesperson for the DA noted the office has charged at least one other case in the past where a subject generated AI porn involving underage victims as part of the images. In total, they found 347 images and videos. Wow.
That's awful.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
And that's what I have in the bizarre file.
A little less serious than that, but I was following a travel influencer and they kept posting these amazing things and I would click on there to read like what they were writing about it.
Yeah.
And I could never find where it was. Like, where are you going? Where are you getting these videos? Well, I actually ended up going into like whatever the link was in their bio and reading a little bit. And there's like a disclaimer and it says, these are all AI generated.
Oh, yeah.
So like they're not even real places. I was like, screw you. I'm not following you. And this is
It's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time. It's dumb.
There are completely AI generated influencers. There's one that
Yeah, well, we talked about
and
it.
people know that it's AI and they don't give a rat's ass. So, it's all part of the deal.
Yep.
Shifting into Skynet territory.
All right. Do you remember what you wanted to say?
I do remember.
Okay.
I wanted to mention one of my holiday activities that's taking place tonight. It is going to be at Bistro on Bridge in Phoenixville. It's holiday wreath making with Bygone Flowers. She's got a few spots that are still available, and you can use the coupon code 933WMMR for 10% off. So you can go to PrestonandSteve.com, click on my holiday activities, or you can also go to her website, which is bygoneflowers.com.
You going to be there for this one, or you?
So I was supposed to be there, but I'm still not feeling well.
I know.
I'm still coughing. It's like, so I feel like I just ran myself down with the camp out and all of, trying to do all these activities.
But you raved about this one in particular, right?
Well, she is so like on trend with with this holiday decor, and she does it a little bit different than everybody else. She's amazing. Her energy is great, and she's holding this wreath workshop tonight. Again, it's Bistro on Bridge in Phoenixville. She has a few spots available, so you can go to our website and sign up for it tonight.
Holiday activities. There you go. All right, thank you, Kathy. We are taking a break. When we come back, we're going to reveal the totals from our camp out for hunger. Excited because we haven't had a chance to look at them yet.
Yeah, I stayed away from them.
Also, our friends from Kamelot Productions will be here to give us drone footage, and we'll cover some of that too. So stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve.
So with a career as long as yours, getting back to the fanatic,
it's biblical, yes.
It seems I never hear stories of you. There never seems to be a situation like a moose ending up. You don't seem to draw that kind of.
I don't because I embrace my fans.
Yeah,
and I actually communicate with them. There is not that urge to. I'm not a mystery as much, and I'm not a can't have.
Right.
As soon as you become a can't have, it starts a frenzy.
So some people are calling it a horror suspense. Do you like things of the things that make you uncomfortable?
I like the ones I've done. I love Carrie. When I was a kid, I did that movie. And
was that your first major film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with Brian De Palma, and then we got together again for Blowout, and I certainly love that.
So we work obviously with audio. It took the classic film Blow Up and made it audio.
Yes, exactly.
And so I remember thinking, and I thought with the editing and all that stuff, it actually was one of the things like I think I want to do this. But Brian De Palma is a brilliant director. Did you see the documentary on him recently?
I haven't.
He goes on about you
Really?
and just nothing but accolades and working with you. But it's a really cool insight to the movie.
When did this come out? I'd love to see it.
I watched it on iTunes.
Netflix or iTunes?
Netflix, it's probably all over the place.
I'm gonna have to see that one because I love documentaries.
Yeah.
I mean, they're my favorite entertainment.
There's actually CNN is doing a good series on movies now, a documentary series, and you are figuring prominently in it as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two things to watch.
John, I wanted to ask in The Fanatic, your character Moose mentions a couple of times somebody you've worked with before, and that's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
And
she's got two pools.
I got a kick out of hearing that because I'm sure you guys are friends or have been over the years, and maybe it's been a while, but has word gotten back to her that, or have you heard from her that she's mentioned in that?
Not yet, but soon.
Okay.
Soon. I invited her to the premiere, so maybe she'll learn that.
Yeah. I thought, was that Fred's idea to include that, or did he write that in?
He wrote that. All the dialogue is. I improvised quite a bit, but all the primary dialogue is Fred's.
Okay.
Because it seems. But I was reading that he was working with you, sort of. Asking questions to Moose to incite responses, so that you started to think.
Well, that's
in that
the actor, and Fred he's a really terrific actor as well as a director. But he's the only director I've worked with that actually could do this. But he would legitimately improvise with me as Moose, and it got me in the frame of mind. And then I would go to each department. I go to the lighting department, the wardrobe, the makeup here, and I'd be in character, and I'd have them ask me questions. And it was like a juggernaut. And as soon as Fred sensed that I had arrived at the Moose Zone,
the Moose Zone,
boom, we would do action.
That's cool.
And it was a very, very great way to. There's nothing better for an actor to prep than for someone to ask them questions about them.
In the character.
In the character. So to think in the character.
Is that classically what we would refer to as method?
No, I'd say it's a method.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the classic method because it has more about reliving past incidents and things. I think this is.
And you never had a mullet.
And I never had a mullet. But I do think that assuming the beingness of a character quickly is where you want to be when you do a role, and it helps you to be that when you're asked questions before you go on.
Sure.
It's nice.
You didn't have a mullet, but you did have long hair in Pulp Fiction, and I get you in my phone fairly frequently. When I'm when I'm running late to the gym, my trainer will send me a text, and it's just you doing the looking around me gif in Pulp Fiction. In that role, you played such an interesting character because you're lost a lot of the time, and you're in this haze, but you're also in this like euphoria. Where did that come from?
It's a very good question because he's a hitman, but he's also they call a chippy, a weekend heroin addict. And I thought, well, I have no reality on that. I'm going to have to find out. So I interviewed several heroin addicts and asked them about how they felt. And then finally one day I said, look, I'm never going to do it, so you have to help me understand that feeling. And he said, okay, well, I really can't, but if you have to know the beginning of the feeling is get really drunk on tequila and lay in a body of warm water. And he said, that little bit of feeling is the beginning of that.
Did you do that?
I did that. And of course, when I'm not a drinker either, but when I did it, everyone I knew wanted to join me in the experiment. Oh, that sounds cool. When are we doing that? Wow. Okay, we are doing my character study together tomorrow night.
Man, that sounds like fun. I want to do that.
It was fun, and then from there I grew, and then with the descriptions that they told me, and I was able to design it. But that's even Quentin didn't know all the time what I was doing because he just trusted me. He said, John, well, I don't why he's walking that slow, why he's talking this slow, I'll figure it out later. But
he let you go? He just let you go?
He just let me go.
Wow.
Because I think the great ones do that. Brian De Palma and Quentin and Robert Altman and Mike Nichols, all those guys I worked with all had that one thing in common. They hired you, you're 90% there. 10% is guiding you here and there.
Is that what happened? So it's Saturday Night Fever. John Badham was the director?
Yeah, he let me go because I said, Badham, you're from Texas. I'm from New York. I know this guy better.
Yeah.
So leave me alone. I'll help you with me, and then I won't interfere with how you direct
It's got to be the ultimate compliment as an actor for a director to say, you got it.
It is, and it's the smartest.
Yeah.
If the actor is trustworthy.
Right.
I think it's the only way to go. Because otherwise you get a mediocre performance as opposed to a kind of a higher end performance.
I want to ask you, you've worked with John Woo twice, right?
Oh, yes.
So you did Face Off and Broken Arrow. And for a guy who's so incredibly likable, you play a incredibly adroit prick in those movies. You are so evil.
I haven't figured that out yet. How is that possible?
But it seems to me you enjoyed it so much, especially with playing basically Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
With that, and you are so hilariously evil in that. Was that just a joy?
It was a joy.
Yeah.
And it was easier for me than it was for Nicholas.
Because you had to tamp down.
Well, Nicholas really had to find me somewhere, and he had a hard time finding me in the movies because I'm different in most movies. But Nicholas is very specific in his talk and his behavior, and so it was a little easier for me to grasp his side of it than it was for him to grasp my side.
So I wanted to ask you, let's get away from acting for a second. I wanted to ask you about your planes and your pilot's license. What ratings do you have, and how long did it take you to get them?
Okay, you ready for the long list?
Well, so I have a couple of friends that are pilots, and so I'm a little bit familiar with it.
Okay, I have 10,000 hours in the air.
Jeez.
It's quite a bit. I have, 12 jet ratings, 747, 707, Gulfstream, Citation, Lear, Hawker, Falcon jet, 3 different fighter jets.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Wait, which fighter? Because Preston and I have both flown in fighter jets.
Yeah, I went
we
up
didn't
with the
pilot it.
No, I got to fly mine little. I went up with the Blue Angels. And,
did you?
Yeah.
How was that?
A media flight. It was amazing.
Did they make you sick?
I passed out and puked.
That's why I won't go with them because I don't want to do that. I have too much pride to end up, doing that. But
yeah, it was FA-18. You were in an F-16 because he was with the Air National Guard.
I wore a G suit, so I didn't pass out or get sick.
Yeah, well,
but
that's
I did pull 9
good
Gs.
for you.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell them before. You have to say, you know what? I don't want to get sick. Please don't make me. Yeah. So that's my.
And how many years? How long did it take?
Oh God, I've been flying since I was 16.
Okay.
Really? It blows my mind when I see a shot of you sitting in the cockpit of a 707. I mean, because I know my litmus test has always been if you've ever locked your keys in your car, you shouldn't be a pilot. So but to me that it requires such a skill set and an attention to detail. And you just legitimately, we know about like David Gilmour as a pilot, and there are a lot of people just love it. I'm thrilled with the notion, but I would never do it because I know my own limitations. But I mean, when you get behind when you're flying a 747, are you white knuckling it, or are you just in absolute ecstasy?
No, I find that the bigger the plane, the more almost simple it is.
Really?
Yeah, and less complex. Well, it's complex in its systems, but it's, there's a lot of booster systems and boosted systems, I should say, that make it like a power steering. It's kind of effortless.
Backups.
You don't really feel the size of the plane.
All right.
In the smaller jets, you actually feel it more.
Would there be enough room for me to lay down and cry? Because that's all I have.
Yes, you can lay down and cry.
Well, being famous, you have a lot of people have the privilege of having private jets and being flown all over the place. When you do get into one of your jets or something, are you flying it?
Yes, for the most part, unless I'm tired, and then you shouldn't be.
Did you see there was a news story yesterday? Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s citation that went off the runway, caught on fire.
Really?
Everybody got out. Everybody was okay, but the plane was a total loss. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to look that up.
Yeah,
I think you always learn by these things.
Okay. Yeah, they're the FAA and the Safety Administration are looking at it. Speaking of aircraft, your 707 is is being donated.
Yes, I'm donating to Australia. I've had it 18 years and I loved it, but it's getting antiquated and it's time to give it away. So I'm donating it to an Australian museum.
Was this the one we heard? We were talking to Olivia Newton-John, and she said that she had never seen Grease, and you had her and her husband.
Yes.
Come on,
well,
his husband had never seen.
He had never seen
And
Grease.
You actually went on the plane and watched it.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. I said, if you're going to marry Olivia Newton-John, you better see Grease.
Oh, that must have been so much fun.
It was, watching his reaction, because then he became the entertainment, watching him watch the screen, like I did with my dad with Mary Poppins when I was 10. I wanted him so badly to see it that I watched him the whole movie, watch the screen.
There was a screening of Grease last night at the Mann Music Center, which is this great venue in town, and the Philadelphia Orchestra was there to perform the soundtrack, and they just do a phenomenal job of accompanying the live music with the movie, and people were just going nuts for it. I mean, the movie's nearly 40 years old, or maybe it's 40 years old at this point.
It is, and it is a phenomenon. It's really interesting to see how each generation embraces that film. Because I remember when I was little, watching Yankee Doodle Dandy or,
Cagney.
Watching Wizard of Oz, and they all held up, but they were only 20 years old at that time.
Yeah.
This movie's 40, and it's still like it was as though it were done last year.
Yeah, it's pretty timeless.
It's really timeless, which I'm proud of.
It's funny, though, because I think there was a certain group in time where I was very aware of silent films, and it wasn't like I was around, thank God.
Yes, but they showed them on
you would see
4 o'clock movie.
Right. And you had an appreciation for it. That's a little harder to get now. But I mean, so for right now, I think a lot of people to be turned on to the movies of the 70s, which you are a part of.
Sure.
The second gold.
MMR.
All right, thanks, Kat. So last week we did this little thing called the Camp Out for Hunger, our 27th one that we have done at the Wells Fargo Center complex right next to Xfinity Live. It was, in my humble opinion, it felt like one of the most successful events that we have put together in terms of what we wanted to achieve on air and the evening events, too. I was very happy with how everything went.
Yeah.
We didn't have any major setbacks or issues. It got really, really windy at some points, but other than that, I thought it was pretty flawless as far as our expectations and execution. So that's a win right there, and I'm happy about it.
Agree. It grew exponentially in that what was done in the evenings was a lot more blown out, and any one of those would have been a major event for the show. Going out and doing, whether it be the food trucks and fireworks or the Unplugged concert or the Quizzo had a cool vibe to it as well. All of it big. So we ended up getting a little bit more whomped than we thought we might. But yeah, Preston, I agree 100%. And there was a general vibe that I went into it with, feeling that people were motivated, and there was a sort of a rebirth in the way people were thinking of the camp out. And it felt that way all the way throughout. And hopefully it manifested in what we're going to hear.
Yeah, well, all right, let's get right to it then.
Yeah.
Let's do the totals. So Camp Out for Hunger 2024, we'll start with the weight of food that was raised for Phil Abundance, and that came in at 1,661,016 pounds of food. Yeah. Whoa! Yeah, you heard that right.
Wow.
1.6 million pounds of food. That does include the 138,000 plus pounds from the Fill a Trunk event and all the food collected at our donation tent. So you did good. You done good.
You done
kids.
good.
You
Jesus.
killed it. Nice job. Very happy with that amount. And then there was the money. So people had a variety of ways that they could donate cash. Some of that was via our friends at Acme at the Pin Pad. And we had online donations. We had matched donations, all kinds of stuff. And this money goes a long way, by the way, gang. So our friends at Phil Abundance can take that cash and they can buy food in the most efficient way possible.
Yes.
Which is excellent. So we are excited to announce the total for Camp Out for Hunger this year monetarily was $995,710.
Wow. Holy heck. That close to $1 million.
Dude, we were $4,200 away from
What in the hell?
from hitting the $1 million mark. I mean, wow. Right on the edge of $1 million.
Kathy, can you sell your office spa?
So thank you to all of those who made donations. We have, and what's great at Camp Out, sometimes we have kids that bring by literally their handful of cash that they've saved through the years. And we're like, yes, we will put that in and add that to the tote. And it ended up being fantastic. So 1.6 million pounds of food, $995,710 raised. So with all of that, we do have some incentive prizes that we need to award. So for the largest donation by a business group or organization, coming in third place, winning a $20,000 Q1 ad schedule on MMR, we are very happy to award that to our friends at Campbell's Chunky. Whoa. Campbell's Chunky brought in 250,000 pounds.
They stepped up, man.
Of food. And they were so excited to be a part of this. Steve and I had gone to their headquarters earlier in the year to just kind of meet with people and kind of stimulate their endeavors. And all of them there were excited, and they wanted to be in the contention for winning the top prize for business and donation. They're certainly on the way.
They were damn close.
Yep, so they came in third place. Coming in second place, and these winners get a live broadcast from the one and only legendary broadcaster Pierre Robert, and we're happy to award that to Comcast.
How about that?
Yeah.
They become a bit of a dynasty.
Yeah, Comcast has brought in 366,253 pounds of food. And yeah, for at least a three-peat, Pierre is going back to broadcast live at Comcast again.
He's got to be doing something right.
Absolutely. So we're stoked about that. Thank you guys so much for partnering with us as well. Number one, it's not really a surprise, but a live broadcast from the Preston and Steve Show will happen again at Subaru of America, who destroyed everybody with 720,000 pounds of food and $10,000 on top of that.
It's amazing. They're a machine. But again, we say they would gladly welcome someone who could bring the firepower to dethrone them.
Yep.
Hasn't happened yet, but doesn't mean it can't.
Yep. So they're kind of hoping that someday maybe happens, that they can stimulate other companies to donate in the way that they do as well. So thank you to Matt Ritter. Matt Ritter and company at Subaru of America. Now, we had other prizes to give away. We had a random drawing prize from all of the Business Challenge participants. So we had one random one. It didn't matter because we want you to donate whatever you can. You don't have to donate 720,000 pounds of food to be able to win something. So anybody who is there in the name of a business was in the running for this, and it's an in-studio visit to hang out with us one morning here while we are doing our show live, and we would like to congratulate Remington and Vernick. Remington and Vernick brought in 11,000 pounds, and we are going to happily host them here during one of our programs. They'll be able to come in, and maybe we'll cook up some food.
We'll do
or
something fun, yes.
And we'll have them hang out and observe and enjoy, and we'll kind of pamper them a little bit that particular morning. So thank you guys, Remington, Vernick, and every single business donor. And then We had, I'm sorry. This is not a winner, but the Camp Out for Hunger Games, I wanted to say, generated an additional 10,000 pounds of food from Bimbo Bakeries USA, and that's on top of their $10,000 donation. So
of crackers.
So we were happy to get their boxes of crackers.
Boxes of crackers.
Any candy?
Box of crackers in a box of candy bars.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. So that adds all of it. Now, the high school winner, and what was the other one that we're going to announce?
The Philly sports trips.
Yes, and everyone who donated was in the running for the trip to join us for spring training for Philly sports trips, and all the high schools that donated were in the running for a $5,000 cash prize from College Ave. We will announce those tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll have that information for you tomorrow. But
impressive so far, man. But kind of super happy with the result there.
Yeah, 1.6 million pounds, and we were just like $4,000 short of $1 million, $995,710.
But it shows that honestly, as you said, we brought down $10 or whatever.
Yep.
It all matters. Again, from the smallest donation to the largest, they are all genetic. And when we found out that the from the Philabundance officials that 70% of what they take in throughout the year is individual donations, and the vast bulk of what comes in from the camp out, the individual donations. So thank you.
Yep, most definitely. And we, like I said, all the things that we planned went bizarrely smooth.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the event, and that's what I said at the top. So no matter what was brought in from our standpoint of executing a show and making sure that everybody left happy and all that, it went smoother than usual. Rochelle, I was speaking to her while I was driving on the way home, and she goes, "Okay, so which was the bad day?" Because there's always one day out of those 5. It's not a bad day, but a couple things go wrong, and Wednesday it falls apart.
Right.
And I told her, I go, nothing, not one of them.
No,
there was not one. We had a couple of hiccups along the way, but nothing.
Hiccup is exactly how I would classify what happened. But otherwise, everything as envisioned came off that way.
Yeah.
There was a lot of comprehensive aspects are employed from Jim Antez and sales had provided us with these packets that really helped, down to, Marissa's Fastidious, Casey, Nick, Kathy, Eric Simon, Chuck D'Amico,
and of course,
Rodney,
all of engineering. Rodney and everybody.
Astonishing.
Yep.
There was just everyone went 2 or 3 levels years past, saying, I think everyone sort of collectively said, oh, I've always wanted to remember to do this, and they did this year.
Yeah, and we would have meetings every day after the show and just kind of get all on the same page. What worked, what didn't, what are we doing next, what do we want, how do we want to do that?
Yeah.
And it ended up paying off, man, because everything just went just right.
I think so. I mean, one thing when you walk around, and for those who have not had the opportunity to walk around behind the fence and behind the tent and in that complex, in that production complex, and you're seeing miles of cable running under these steps so you can step over it, and people going into little enclosures that you don't know what's going on. All that's wired together, and all of that talking to each other and handling all the possible interference from all the electronics in the area. It's a massive undertaking.
Yep, and one of the things that was new this year was drone coverage.
Drone coverage.
Inside. We've had drones fly up and get like an aerial shot of the event, but not inside and zipping through people's legs and stuff like that. So that's why we want to welcome both Arthur and Joe from Kamelot Productions here this morning to our studio. Guys, how you doing?
Good morning. Great.
And
Thanks so much for having us.
I just put this together. Kamelot Productions, Arthur, is that where it came from?
You got it.
God
Here
damn,
we
I
go.
just-
And there's a crown logo as well.
There's a what?
A crown logo, like King Arthur.
Son of a bitch. So, but it's spelled, Kamelot is spelled with a K, Kamelot Productions, and they do drone coverage, like I said, inside and outside. And we weren't sure how this is going to work or not. And of course, Rodney and everybody in our engineering was like, oh, God, what are these guys doing? They're going to be zipping drones around inside. But you guys, it was phenomenal. Now, we haven't seen it yet. I have not watched any of this. When did you guys start editing right away and get this together?
We did. As soon as we were finished, handed it over to our editor, and we actually had a draft ready Thursday, reviewed it, had our notes, and from there, we finalized it. We actually can't wait for you guys to watch it. We think it's epic.
What's your takeaway from actually being on premises from the earliest part of the morning all the way down to the fireworks and food trucks event at night? You were there for a long haul. What's your takeaway from being at the event?
So this was my first year at the event.
Yeah.
I was blown away. The electricity, the community, how you guys bring all of these people together for a great cause. It was honestly mind-blowing. And being a native Philadelphian and getting to see the sense of community that you guys were able to foster, people just wanting to do good for a great cause. It was awesome.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And that was an energy, I think, that permeated all the days of the camp out. So that's cool that you noticed that.
Yeah, Joe, how about you? Any reflections from that?
Yeah, so I'm a former event guy, did a bunch of street festivals and stuff. And just to see all the event layers that you guys have, just so much to do. I mean, people could be there literally all day and have the best time of their life. So really kudos to you. And we volunteered some time at Phil Abundance and know the operation over there, and it's just an amazing, amazing place. So kudos again, and keep doing what you guys are doing.
Thank you, man. And by the way, if people want to hire you, they reach out to CamelotProductions.com.
Yeah, they can email us either Arthur or Joe at CamelotProductions.com. Shoot us an email. We're very, very good communicators, and we're always checking our email, and we're always open to new clients, so email away.
Now, you have to have a little Excalibur on your desk, right? Do you?
Yeah, you have a little sword
and a stone. Tell me you
That literally might be my first purchase after we leave here. I'm like running to Rite Aid. I have to go get like a little mobile sword.
Yes.
So we have not seen this yet. So we want to. Marissa's got this set up. So if you're viewing on our YouTube stream, we are going to run this simultaneously. Now I have to coordinate the audio that goes along with it here, so those on the radio will hear this, and those on streaming will be able to hear and see as well. For those of you who are just on the radio, I will describe some of the things that we are seeing so that you're not completely left in the dark. But we're going to be reacting to this because we have not seen it yet. And then everybody will be able to see it publicly on our social media.
It's the debut across everything.
On our YouTube. But this, we wanted to see and share together with you guys at the same time. So we're ready to check
Very
this out?
excited, yes.
So, Marissa, you want me to give you a 3, 2, 1, go? And on go, we'll start it at the same time? All right, so this is what we're going to do. We have our video about ready to roll. All right, it's up in the studio. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. City skyline. Wells Fargo Center at sunrise.
Are camping out in South Philly all week to help knock out hunger.
Preston and Steve's Camp Out for Hunger event kicked off this morning.
Now, a huge campaign is currently underway to fill the shelves at Phil Abundance. We're talking about the annual Camp Out for Hunger. And
it's hard to believe that it's been 27 years now of the Camp Out for Hunger. It seems like it gets bigger and better every year. They've donated more than 24 million pounds of food, not to mention millions of dollars in donations.
Within the last hour, I would say the donations have definitely picked up. We've seen big box trucks. Volunteers here have been working hard making sure these bins are filled with non-perishable donations, all going to Phil Abundance and all for a good cause.
We have a lot of fun doing this while we're at it. And to see people come together, that's probably the coolest thing. Besides, doing the good, seeing people get together and helping out.
So obviously we're looking at a montage of our guests and everyone that were there, the marching band, and now the drones flying through our legs, all throughout the inside and outside of the tent.
You playing drums?
Of the band and overhead shots, down low. I mean, we're getting angles like we've never seen before in video coverage of this.
Now it's nighttime.
Yeah, we're looking at the beginning of food trucks and fireworks. People starting to form, getting in line to get their grub. Oh, this looks great. Wow.
The thing that swings back and forth.
The Pharaoh ride, and these views of the rides from that angle are awesome.
Oh, wow.
And now we have the fireworks display.
And the drones.
Yeah.
Covered by drones.
Yeah, drones covered by drones. Oh, man, that is something else. Wow. Oh, my God. So kinetic. With that type of coverage, because
that's a hype video.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. And you guys do hype videos, don't you?
We do everything.
Yeah.
Everything you can imagine, but event videos, what you just saw, that is definitely one of our specialties. And we have our drone pilot in here, our lead content creator, Matt. He's on the couch over there, chilling like a villain. But he did an unbelievable job flying around. Obviously, you guys saw it. We were literally circling people as they're speaking, flying over the crowd, flew through your legs. So if you have a chance to watch a video, we staged the whole PNS cast, and we were flying around them, flying through their legs, and no injuries were committed.
You call it verite moments, but you also orchestrated some things that were fun to do. Like you had people in the back. You had me, like, in front of the step and repeat, and everyone got back there, and then just those candid moments that were great. They all sort of synergized and created the energy.
Guys, a lot of people were watching that on our YouTube stream, which is really cool. So our numbers are higher than normal. People were able to tune in and watch it via YouTube, and everybody is saying that was awesome, super cool, amazing, guys. An incredible hype video. So nice work. That was incredible.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, so hire Kamelot Productions if you want to boost things up and make everything look more dynamic and action-packed, and just to get the vibe of the excitement that you're looking for.
To me, it would be a business expense that would lead to far more business. It would make more sense if you want to show what you can do and put that forward in the best way possible. This is how you do it.
Had you guys flown into a fireworks display before?
We had not. We actually didn't fly in. We had to obviously observe certain distance restrictions, but capturing it was really incredible. And the drone show, we wanted to, when we edited the video, give people a taste of both the combination of the drone show. 'Cause you guys, with the drone show, and you'll see it in the video, you had Eagles logos, you had Preston and Steve, you had a girl putting a finger to it was incredible. So we wanted to make sure that people really got a taste of the TLC that you guys put into putting this together. And your team just did a masterful job of creating an event that I think really had a taste of everything to it.
Yeah, this week we went for it. And again, it's always been about creating a reward for people to take the time to come down and be generous, make it a circus, make it sometimes wonderfully inappropriate. And all of that stuff works together because I think people realize that there's nothing wrong with people. This is the way we say thank you. This is the way the city says thank you for the generosity. And this video will kind of live now forever to, now we just cannot have this every year. It's got to be part of it. It was amazing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so thank you, Arthur, Joe. Appreciate it. Matt, you're the man, brother.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Nice work, guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us, guys.
With AK, Kamelot Productions. Hi, these guys. Real quick, while I know we got a couple more minutes here. If you're just tuning in, the totals that we had, 1.6 million pounds of food, over 830 tons of food, and just shy of $1 million, $995,710. Anything that, any standout moments that may not be obvious ones? I mean, their obvious ones are good too. But.
I had two that I wanted to point out. I thought having the governor on Friday and the mayor on Wednesday it was fantastic. And I had not spent any time with the mayor before. She was so inspirational and so moving. And having the governor drop 2 S-bombs live on the radio was fantastic.
Yep.
But to me, it like transcended politics. It had nothing to do with politics, political party, any of those types of things. It was just 2 leaders who came out and represented the city really, really well, represented the state really, really well. And Josh Shapiro said some things about policies that they're trying to pass in this state that were inspired by Camp Out for Hunger.
Pretty wild.
Thing that he had remembered from visiting years and years ago when he was Attorney General. And to me, that was really impactful.
By the way, Nick, it's Shaps.
Shaps.
Shappy Shaps, yes. We call them Shappy.
What about you?
So I'm, it's sometimes it's unexpected things that turn out to be just priceless. I think, dude, Bernie Perrant and Joe Watson cracked me. And listen, we've known Bernie. We've known both of those guys for ages. But Bernie was just on fire. And we were expecting, like, okay, we're going to have these guys on real quick. We'll talk to these guys.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
No. We use him as a time killer.
Dressed as Santa Claus.
Yeah.
He was just,
His wife looked like $1 million, by the way, as Mrs. Claus.
The two of those guys together were just, oh my God. They're like, you want to have friends like that when you're that age.
Oh,
that are just
best.
Hilarious. And I laughed my ass off sitting there looking at Bernie Perrant dressed as Santa Claus.
Santa.
It was amazing.
Wait, I had to fix his beard for him.
You did?
It was on the back of his head.
He kept poking me. Well, first he was poking me in the arm because we were taking too long. He was supposed to be on already. Then he was poking me again. I was like, I know. We're going to get you out there. And he was like, no, can you fix my beard? So I had to put the strap behind.
Leave me alone, old
him.
man.
It's so funny. And like I said, we've known him for years. But, at one point he's trying to make a joke. And he goes, I want to say to the man with Mr. Microphone over there, When'd you get a haircut, mister? He's talking about Steve's balls.
He's been sitting on that joke. I've got to remember to say something about the baldness.
It was like in the middle of the contest.
Yeah,
He stopped the contest.
But you love the hell out of it because he's just loving it.
Yeah. How about you, man?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin
Smith was tremendous, and because again he's such a friend to the show. The fact that he got to hang with Froggy finally in the back in the green room, but he brought it was just great talking geek stuff with him, but also the fact that he said something that sort of resonated. He goes, say radio is dead. He goes, it ain't dead here, in Philadelphia, and he was like he was just blown away. He hung out for a while. Stuff we didn't even see. The video he did with Phil Abundance.
Yep.
And he was just like, he had seen it and he experienced it tangentially, but being on premises was an epiphany for him.
And he was watching the Bernie and Joe interview too, because he's a big fan. He's a huge hockey fan.
Yeah.
And so he has a tremendous amount of respect. But I see him poking his head around the corner out there watching that interview. And when Froggy got to meet Kevin backstage, I saw Kevin. We purposely kind of cleared the area so he wouldn't be, sieged by people who wanted pictures and autographs and things like that. And he was kind of by himself, and he was looking in the little beverage cooler to get something to drink. And I came over and I said hi to him. He said, "Hey, man," I go, "Listen, do you want to meet the Froggy? They're right over here." And he's like, "Hell yes, absolutely." And he was more than happy to go over. And like Morgan I have pictures of them when they were looking at him, and they were just blown away. They couldn't believe they were meeting him. So that was really special.
They bonded over Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Part 2,
which is a great movie.
Yeah, he's just so nice.
Yeah. Anybody else? Well, another one for me personally. Dave Wisickinen calling me up on stage to play drums with the Hooters, and Adam Weiner and Don McCloskey was pretty awesome for me personally.
The evening stuff, that whole evening was amazing.
Yeah, that night was fantastic. I said this on air last week, but I was super nervous all day on Tuesday that nobody was going to show up, and it was the perfect room for it. The Hooters just sounded incredible. Adam Weiner was great on acoustic guitar. Don McCloskey and friends, they were really good. And so that night turned out so freaking well. I was very happy with it.
If I may just jump in, Kathy, the Hooters, those guys, when they we know them as friends, and we know them on their basic level. We know their talent. It's not lost on us. It's not lost on us. The impact on music. But when you see them get up there and effortlessly do this very generous thing, and everyone goes bat-ass crazy, and as Adam and Don were saying, they both at the same time go, friggin' Live Aid, man.
Nick took my on-air favorites, which was the governor and the mayor. I thought that was excellent. But I think overall, that night, the Unplugged was probably my favorite part of the whole week. And that was Tuesday. It was early. I think that's
what killed us. Yeah.
That's what killed us. But I listen, and I love all of them. I love all of the members of the Hooters. But Dave, I just love nice people. Like I just said about Kevin, Dave is like one of the nicest people to sit down and talk to. And I spoke to Don. Don and I have some mutual friends. I sat and talked to Adam while Don was playing. Like I got to talk to all of them, and they're just great people.
I spent a couple hours with Adam Weiner. Nick and I were sitting down with him, and he just oozes cool.
Yeah. There's no facade.
Oozes.
That's who he is.
That is just the way he is.
Right?
Man.
I mean, that's him. There's no affectation. That's who he is.
Well, and he's the type of person that, and you can see this in people when you know they're genuine. He'll ask you a question, and like you see him like waiting and listening to your answer. You know what I mean? Like it's not fake conversation. He's asking because he genuinely wants to know your answer.
And he's buddies with Springsteen. I mean, like Bruce loves that guy, which is really cool. I had a lot of fun with Preston and Casey on Thursday night for Quizzo. You guys stuck around for most of it. And Johnny Goodtimes. Did you say for the whole thing?
Yeah,
okay.
we were about to leave, and you were like, there's only 4
That's
questions
right.
left.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And we ended up in second place, which was a lot of fun. And, in theory, the team was me and Andrew, but it ended up being a bunch of us. And it was great to end up in second place because we didn't win the prize, and I didn't want to win the prize. But Johnny Goodtimes, who Marissa introduced,
he's excellent.
He's such a good host. And so I'm grateful to Marissa for getting Johnny out there last year and again this year. And then I ended up hanging out with Johnny for a while after Quizzo was over. If you're a Quizzo fan, come next year. It's a really good time.
I told you the next day, Nick, I hit such a wall, Preston.
Yeah, you were done.
I ended up I woke up the next morning in the hotel. I have no idea how I was so wiped out. I don't remember going back to the the whole thing. Yeah.
Marissa, you have any moments that stand out?
I mean, you guys have mentioned so many great ones. I guess my brain during the week lives in some of the stunts and such. So, I mean, Robert Irvine on the drop quiz, he changed his whole schedule just to make sure that he could come. Yeah. Then casually gave us $10,000 at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Rocky relay.
Yeah.
That was Monday. We had the Rocky relay followed by the entire Upper Darby marching band filling the tent.
It was amazing.
And that was Monday. And I thought wow, okay, we got through this, so the rest of the week is going to be great. But how is the energy for the rest of the week going to match Monday? And it did. It just kept going. Every day was more exciting and more exciting.
Well, so what we had also is we had an early full tent. Now, when I say the tent was full, there was always room. You could come down and people were cycling in and out. But there was such an electricity in the tent every morning, starting from the moment the doors opened up. And that's what propels this thing.
I noticed that too, Steve. I feel like there was more people in the tent each morning this year. Nick, I know we could go on and on about our favorite moments, but Keith Jones and who was...
Oh, Dan Hilferty.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And when Dan made the donation and we asked, Keith, did you know about it? And he went, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, because he offered up from Keith $5,000. Like, did you ask Keith about that? No. It's okay.
I got to hang out with the pink shirts for a little bit on Thursday night after Quizzo. And so what was really cool for me was to see how important it is for that community to have and to earn a pink shirt. They don't just give you a pink shirt. So if you're going to come out and volunteer, you get a yellow shirt.
Right.
And once you prove, and so I was sitting there in this circle. I'm like, how many years have you guys been here? And the shortest amount was this woman who was a pink shirt for 4 years. Most of these people have been at Camp Out for 13 plus years. And they awarded 3 new pink shirts, and that was like a huge, huge deal.
Wow.
To anybody earning a pink shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so cold last week. I was thinking about it over the weekend when it was 56 degrees, and it was cold and windy, and every single night walking through our little walkway there, and you would see the MM Army outside and the pink shirts outside and the green shirts outside and everyone who was just standing there. But they were still excited. Every car that came through, every person that walked by, people that were walking to the Flyers games and the Sixers games and the Mariah Carey concert, they were explaining Camp Out and inviting people in to ride the rides because Skelly's was there all night. There was just so much energy despite the wind and the craziness. And guys, we had a petting zoo.
Yeah.
On top of all of that.
Yeah. When it got too cold, the animals went in. They took them away, but they were there. They had a heater. They had a nice, comfortable setup.
It was more the wind than the cold for the animals.
It was the wind. Yeah.
I went and talked to them at one point. I was like, guys, this is amazing. This is literally an addition on top of this already huge circus. So we're going to keep growing that relationship, and that'll be something bigger as the years go on.
Do you know what I love the Yuletide, the setup, the Christmas trees.
Yeah.
The Yuletide event that's going on now.
In Lafayette
Hill. And you walk past this little Christmas tree setup that was tremendous.
Covered in Camp Out for Hunger ornaments.
That's
that
right,
we're using as collector's items.
And also, I think 2 of us at least had a 3 cheeseburger day.
Started off with Nifty 50s in the morning, then Red Robin in the afternoon, and for dinner was Dolan's.
Half the joy was watching him react, Preston react. He goes, "Oh my God, I've had 3 cheeseburgers." Each meal has been cheeseburger.
Well, and you commented at lunch. You were like, well, I had one for breakfast, and now I'm having one. And when I got back to Camp Out that night, you were eating a cheeseburger. I was like, oh my God.
And so the Dolan's cheeseburger, and I might have to revoke or hand in my Delco card for a little bit because I had never been to Dolan's, and I'm telling you. It was like one of the best cheeseburgers I've ever had in Delaware County in my entire life.
And the owner was there as well as the chef who made them. They're like smash burgers.
Yeah,
they were terrific.
There was a really fun moment where I was speaking with the owner of Dolan's and the head chef. As it turns out, I grew up and played football with the head chef's brothers. Of course I did. And then me and the owner, we were making a video message for Delco Jesus, who wasn't able to be there that night. And then just all of a sudden, we just broke into Eagles Wings. As a church banger, any Catholic school kids out there, you guys know Eagles Wings. But that was maybe my favorite moment that didn't happen on air.
There was a moment where Preston, you took Nifty 50s out and you were pouring them into listeners' mouths.
Yeah, the milkshake.
Except that Nifty 50s had brought like 300 shakes.
I didn't know.
And she kept
we just let you go because you couldn't hear, and everyone was saying. And when you finally got back to the mic, Press, by the way, Nifty 50s brought enough shakes for everyone in the. Oh,
And
I didn't know.
They were kind of just standing there laughing, and they had said it to us, and they realized that you couldn't hear, and so she was like, they were just laughing at you pouring, and they're like, "There's enough for everybody."
Those shakes are way too good.
Yeah.
I don't. They're too delicious.
Yeah.
And again, so we had a number of people who've actually, now that they've been out for a while, have tried them, and we're not BSing you. You need to try them. I enjoyed. I had my streaming rig in the RV, and I went on a couple times, and the interaction with people, to talk about the events of the day, and people who are kind of keeping up on everything and paying attention to Pierre, and felt even if they couldn't make it down, were connected to the camp out, was really wonderful to feel.
Yeah, and it was great, obviously having the support, mentioning Pierre and Jackie and Brent. Brent had Walt from Silvertide come out and spend some time with him, which was really
Such
cool.
a nice guy.
We also had Jackie and his 45-minute interview with the Mummers.
Did I go too long?
Mike and Alex.
No, Jackie.
Mike and Alex stopped by one night. That was a lot of
Mike
fun.
and Alex came by in the evening.
All rules are like out the door, though, for
They are.
camp out.
So-
you want to do 45 minutes with the mummers, that's cool.
And Chuck is very forgiving, but I'll tell you what is funny with Alex and Mike is that Alex is like a hand grenade with the pin pulled out, ready to reveal something about Mike.
Yeah, totally.
Do we need to go there? It's hilarious to watch their dynamic because they are really good friends.
And I can't believe I actually spent any time. And I spent a lot of time watching the Steve Wilkos show with Steve Morrison in the RV.
What? It was. We were trying with the sound down. We were trying to figure out what was going on.
Oh, I like a game
Yes,
like that.
it was a great game, and then I got pretty close.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite moments might be this, like us recapping it too, because it all happens and it's all so much going on for the week. There is a joy in seeing people's faces experiencing camp out for the first time.
Yes.
So the Neumann University kids were filming it and they were running around, and Monday they're kind of just like wide-eyed and like, what the heck is all of this? And by Tuesday, Wednesday, they're in it and they know when to capture the confetti cannon and the bands are going and all of that, those moments, and they really start vibing it out. And then Ken from Electro Sound Systems is the guy that made those screens for us.
Oh, they were
Wow.
great.
Guys,
Wow.
he makes I forget if it's Journey or Styx. He does their screens, and like Tom Petty.
Wow.
So when we were going to those concerts, he was making the stuff behind them and for us.
That's cool.
So he'll be there next year and is already like planning and what to do, and was
that was a
making
great addition.
Super
the
nice guy.
Connoisseur and
Yeah.
the Bizarre File clips and all of that. It looked so cool this
And
year.
it was also cool talking to people who have been there, who had been to camp out since the Adams Mark. And I think it was on Friday, this guy named Gil.
Yeah.
Gil and Gil were there. And I met Gil and his cousin Brian for the first time ever in the parking lot of the Adams Mark Hotel, and having Marilyn there.
Marilyn Russell.
was there.
Do you know that there was somebody there, Preston, who was, and you and I will remember this in case you will as well. The truck that got stuck in the down at the bottom parking lot of, there was 2 levels of the Adams Mark parking lot, and down lower, and there was a blizzard and it got stuck in the snow. And I remember one of the highlights of my life was using a forklift to lift the truck out off the ice, and someone was there witnessing as it happened. And yeah, Casey, there were a lot of long-term listeners and long-term camp out attendees who happened to show up this time
And
around.
next year will be our 20th camp out with MMR.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
This wasn't it?
No, this is our 19th, I guess.
But 2005 was the first year.
We-
I hate it when we do math
We've
like
been
this.
doing this.
This was the 20th. This was the 20th at MMR.
Yay!
Where were you in the meeting when we were talking about how next year's going to be the 20th, and we didn't do what we
Wait
wanted
a
to do
sec.
this year because next year's the 20th?
It doesn't matter.
It's not my fault.
Does the sun rotate around
It's
us,
your
or
fault.
do we rotate around the sun?
Wait, I was going to say one more thing.
Yeah.
There's a guy named Ryan. He's the human snowball. He comes out to all the Cardboard Classics. He brought his son, Riley, and Riley was in charge of buying the groceries for to donate this year. And Riley was so proud of his efforts, and to see a kid, he was 10, it almost brought me to tears because I was so excited for his excitement and what he was able to accomplish.
Right.
And his dad just said, let's go to the grocery store. You can pick out whatever you want. And Riley knew that he was helping. And it was just really cool to see his reaction. So I wanted to shout them out.
Excellent. And thank you to the bands as well. Porch, our new band this year, did great on Monday. And then Tuesday morning was Sidearm. They're amazing. Wednesday, super hyped up to have Jameson back again year after year.
Yep.
And then Good Man Fisk was the rock show on Thursday. And then Drop Dead Sexy does an unbelievable job of closing it out. And they've been doing it for 9 years now.
And all like wildly interesting song selections and kept it fun. And so while if you come down, and a lot of people heeded our advice to come on down and be there for the actual live show, they kept going for. I mean, we do a long show to begin with, but they really made the time fly.
Yep. We'll continue the thanks because I'm sure there are some that we forget. There's so many people that are involved in this particular event that it's a lot of miles to cover. But again, the total's over 1.6 million pounds of food, just shy of $1 million, $995,710 raised. The number one business donation, Subaru of America, second place, Comcast, third place, Campbell's Chunky, our random drawing from the businesses, Remington and Vernick.
Very cool.
All right, so thank you for everything. We had a great time, and we're already starting to talk about next year. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment or two. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Preston and Steve.
Yes.
You know, because these are great movies that sit there, and when kids or younger people discover them, the light goes on. It's like, oh.
Yes,
because
the more timeless they are, the more they discover them, not only in a new unit of time, but as though it were they were back then.
Yeah.
And it had the same impact because Grease and Saturday Night Fever seemingly, even Urban Cowboy, to have the same impact on the new generation that it had on people then.
Absolutely.
For some reason.
Still as profound as ever.
Yeah, it seems it. Do you know?
Yeah, as I did musical theater growing up, and Grease is the one play that has always eluded me, and I always wanted to play Danny Zuko, and now
I wanted to play Sandy.
Yeah, as a 44-year-old man, that's never going to happen.
Oh,
At that point, you're Donald Zuko at that time.
I think you should do it. The Fox News group did today. They did a reenactment of Grease. They filmed it per shot.
Oh, really?
Yes. You guys could do that.
We could do that.
100%.
We've got our Sandy.
Absolutely.
We've got all our T-Birds here.
Yep. Frenchie.
I'm the lesser known guy, Baldy. So
It doesn't matter. Just do the leather jacket. You're home.
I mean, we still, to this day, if somebody says, rockin' and rollin'.
And whatnot.
Of course.
It just finishes all the time.
Every single time.
Without
That's
fail.
hilarious.
Well, so just thank you for all of that stuff that you've given us
you're
over the years. It's a
stuff.
real pleasure actually looking at you in the flesh. It's, you have beautiful eyes, Sean.
Really,
Man, it didn't get uncomfortable to the very end.
No, are you kidding? I'm an actor. I love compliments. Please, more.
You're dressed really nice, too. What a watch on you in the pocket square.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I've decided that we're each other's scenery and that at some point, maybe not for yourself, but for another person, you have to be presentable.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You had a great quote on Good Morning America. You're making the round, so you were hitting those guys, and you said something I thought was a great outlook, and you said, life is art. Life is art, so appreciate it, enjoy it, and it's here for your entertainment.
Well, it is because I think so many people don't view life as an art, but how you eat, who you spend time with, where you go, how you do it, how you dress is all part of an art if you choose to allow it to be an art. It's not just the quote unquote arts of music and dance and sports, and it's actually how we live, what we're doing right now. Well, of course, this is an art because you're on radio performing.
Yeah.
But it's how we interact is also part of the art of life.
I love that. I love that outlook. All right. Well, if you want to see John definitely in a role
big departure,
unlike he's ever been in, then you want to see The Fanatic. It's a great movie, and it's in theaters on August 30th. Wonderful to have you here, John. Thanks so much.
This was probably the most fun I've ever had at an interview situation. This has been awesome.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And loved your story, Nick, and I loved your story, Casey. Oh my God, two great stories.
I want to hug you so bad right now. Let's hear it. John Travolta, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. Do you remember the squirtable butter used to come in a thing?
Yeah, butter spray.
Is that what?
I
no,
can't
not
believe it's
spray,
not
not
butter.
spray.
There's an actual like liquid, almost
Really?
like
liquidy
like the way you
butter.
dispense mustard.
It was
I don't
more
remember
back in the 80s probably. And if you had a waffle, you could go blink, 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 blink in each little.
If I had a waffle,
Each little
I'd eat it
crevice.
in the morning. Yeah, there we go.
You
Parkway.
need butter in every little square?
You do.
If you're
you're a man.
If you're a man, no.
Okay.
No, I obsess about little things like that.
Okay.
It's just like weird.
So your answer is yes, you do.
Yeah, I have a butter memory with Preston that is probably 19 years old. Do you know what it is?
memories.
Butter memory.
Preston, do you remember the butter memory?
That's probably 19 years old.
19 years old.
Butter memories.
You would have to butter memories. You would have to give me a hint.
Me, you, Steve, and Marilyn.
Wow.
that wraps it up.
Butterfest,
Did a show
1998.
for 3 years together.
Media Court Diner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know the butter memory?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do tell.
So we're sitting there, and it's after we had done a show, and we're having lunch, and there was
We're all just getting to know each other, by the way.
yeah, we're all getting to know each other, and so they had a little ramekin full of butter, which is a small dish. And so I guess it was a ball of butter or something like that. And we're just talking, and I just reach out and grab it and just squish it with my hand, just to be outrageous.
Provocative.
I'm like, ooh, butter.
Yeah.
And I did that, and he died laughing.
I was
So.
like, what? I wish I would have done that.
On the first time.
That looked fun.
Butter memories.
But if I owned a diner and
I dine in the morning.
and I was serving waffles, there would be a special little spray that I would put melted butter in so that you could go.
You would keep it like you could even have it as you could have the way you have a mug warmer where your butter could be on it and with the pump so that you could dispense that
Now
way.
it would need to be more like misty,
Like a
you know?
like a fire hose.
No, like
Like a spray bottle.
like a spray bottle, like you would spray your indoor plants.
Like a spritz.
I disagree. I think that the butter, like the spray butter, you're lessening the quality of the butter product. And if you're going to have like actual butter, you're going to need to have like a vat of melted butter. This is your diner, so I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business.
You open your own diner next door and do
build your own
regular,
goddamn diner.
normal, boring pats of
I
butter.
kind of want to work with you,
Yeah.
like almost like as if I was your therapist, and to make you okay with not having butter in every square. Like it's all right.
No, I know.
It's still gonna taste good. You're gonna get enough butter.
Believe me, I've
Touchstone Pictures. He had to have butter in every square until a concerned therapist came into his life. My name is Romano. I think I can help you.
Then we need some good music, like
Yes,
Peter
inspiring,
Gabriel,
Salisbury Hill.
Salisbury Hill. Yeah. See if you can pull that. So the serious part when he realizes he has a problem.
Oh, no, I can't even get it together anymore. Every time I go into the diner, I start trembling like crazy. I think I know someone you can talk to. And then she came into his life. My name's Romano, and today's the day we start making changes. From Touchstone Pictures, the story of a boy who learned now how to not have butter in every square of his waffle. Butter squareless waffle boy.
Butter squareless waffle boy.
Or something to that effect.
It's butter therapist.
I feel like I already went through this with Jace. Like at breakfast time. It's okay, honey.
Unbutterable.
Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
I'm doing it!
I heard recently that isn't even. I mean, just the old, sneaking the look at your next door neighbor's paper is not necessarily the chosen form of cheating these days, because so much stuff is done online now that students are using Google Docs quite a bit to cheat with.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so now they're trying to make. In fact, they've said they've noticed a general increase in grades that they believe is artificially manipulated.
Really?
And so much so that Google itself has stepped up and has, like I'm looking at an article here, they're trying to set up ways to prevent Google Docs being used for cheating.
So here's the way I understand that this works, and if I'm wrong, please tell me.
Yeah.
We've got students here, we've got strippers that know the answers as well, because Victoria was chiming in on this while we were off air. that if someone takes a test in a class before you, that you're going to have that same class, and they therefore can get that exact exam that you're about to take and send that to you before you take the exam. Is that kind of the way it works? Is that what I understand?
You know who knows?
Ben knows. Ben, come in here.
Ben. Here.
Intern Ben, we're going to get him on the mic. And by the way, Ben, are you currently a student?
Yes, I go to Temple University right now. I've been there for 3 years now.
Okay. All right. So what I was just saying, I know you guys are busy in the other room there. When someone is taking an exam, they can take that exam and give it to someone else who has that same test later on in the day. Is that how it works?
So it totally depends, but like a lot of the times, it'll just be on your laptop in class, and it's impossible to govern everyone's laptop, as you can imagine.
Okay. Okay.
You all right? Had to run in.
He's a little nervous.
I was wondering why you talk like that. And actually, is it the thing? Is it the Google documents?
I've talked to Ben many times. I've never heard his voice quite like that before.
It's as we matriculate through the process of the Temple University. Of course, enriched by the learning that we have.
So I guess.
Poor kid, you poor kid.
I guess no. Ben doesn't talk like that.
Excited to come on air with us.
We just pulled him in by. It's not his fault. It's not his fault.
Off guard. That's all.
Okay. So Ben, I guess what Preston's asking is, how does
Let's start over.
How does the document get disseminated to everyone who's looking to cheat off that original document?
So you can have a Google Doc open on your laptop in like a separate tab, and then you can send it to anybody that has like a Google email. And of course, our school uses Google for everything.
So you can have the Google Doc, I guess, open on a different browser. Right. And just sort of toggle between the two, the test and the Google Doc test, Google Doc. I don't know. Gabby's here as well. She's also a student. You know.
What's your take on it?
Yes.
Stop it. I'm just kidding. Poor Ben. We pull him in while he's trying to do other work. So
What's your take on it, Gabby?
Yeah. So if you're in a group, just like in a group, when you're doing one of your assignments, you obviously have everybody's email. So you can set up this Google Doc where you can share everything that you do. So even if you're in one class earlier and you have a friend that's in the next class later in the day, you can just share that document with other people in other classes.
Okay. And Victoria, were you the student? Did you do this or hear about this happening as well? Yes. Why is your mic not on? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. So when I was in school, it was just super easy. First of all, the website is pretty, like, once you get it down, it's super easy to use. And yes, sharing is so easy, and it's so easy to communicate on there amongst many people.
Did anyone ever float? I mean, because they're saying that it has had, and Google has actually had to step in to give teachers ways to fight this. Do you know anyone who's ever cheated using the system?
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
I would say.
Actually, no, I'm not aware.
Ben has something to say about the Apple Watches.
Yes.
So not about the Apple Watch, but I do have a story we can go into.
Okay, please do.
So in high
Make it a long
school,
one.
I went to a tech school. So I was in computer programming, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Obviously.
So, but we figured out a way to cheat on the learning guides, which is our little exercises to learn how to program, but the teacher caught wind of this.
Yeah.
So for a month, every student had to handwrite all their code.
Oh, God.
Because we were cheating, which is like Java and HTML. That's awful.
That's crazy. That's all little symbols.
We had to handwrite all of it. Then we had to type it up. And that was his way to prevent us from cheating. And I was pissed because I wasn't cheating. I was the one actually doing it right. Because
This
all the
is
other students
outlandish.
were.
This is absolutely outlandish. I'm take you outside and kick your ass.
Did you rat everybody out because you weren't
What
cheating?
am I, a monk? This is ridiculous.
No, Casey, I was trying to be cool.
No. But so how long did it take to take a test like that?
Well, for what would take 5 minutes on the computer was about 25 on the paper.
Jesus.
Just because you got to remember the symbols, you got to squiggle them or whatever.
Just you have to talk through them. Just keep
This
talking.
is the goddamn dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's goddamn ridiculous.
25 on the paper.
No, but I mean, to write, who's talking about writing code is in all symbols and intense stuff. It's,
Preston, get yourself together.
I can't. Steve being outrageous Ben is killing me. Oh, this is an outrage.
Preston, our dancer wants to chime in here as well.
Oh, yes, Victoria. Yes.
Yeah, don't forget about me. Okay.
I'm
anyways.
sorry, Victoria.
No, it's okay. It's just so funny. I'm listening to how far people will go to actually cheat, and I went to a really good school, and we would literally cheat in groups, and the teachers had no idea. That's how
No
oblivious.
idea.
I guess they were just paid so well that, like I swear, they didn't care.
Do you think there's some credence to the fact that schools who rely on, how the school's performing would allow this to happen?
I guess to keep up with
their
the
reviews and stuff like
whatever.
that.
Yeah.
It's conceivable.
I went to a really good school, so I guess high test scores were super important.
So it's plausible deniability, right? That you can say, okay, they're just getting good grades.
And what's funny enough, in 9th grade, I actually had a social studies teacher that would literally grade you on if he liked you or not. We would write what we had for breakfast on, literally, I would write the most ridiculous answers, and some of them would be right and some of them would be wrong. I swear this man graded you on whether he liked you or not, or maybe your outfit that day. I swear
I bet
he
you
didn't
did
care.
very well.
Yes, being stunningly gorgeous helps too.
I passed, by the way. And he fed us. He was a G. He was awesome.
What's going on over here? Just because she's super hot, she passes? I'm here writing goddamn code. My fingers are falling off. She talks about having egos and she gets an A+.
You're a good sport, Ben.
That was an outrage, frankly. Goddamn, says I have a rheumatoid arthritis writing all this code. And over here, she says she had a Pop-Tart for breakfast. She has an A+.
I love when you threaten to kick their ass.
Outside now, I'm going to put my foot so far up your ass, you're going to see my big toe coming out your nose.
Oh, my God.
All right, we have to wrap this up.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Yeah,
all right. No. Officials are working to contain a scabies outbreak.
No. What the hell?
This is at Radnor Middle School and one student from Radnor Elementary School. Yeah. Yep.
Scabies.
Mm-hmm. And at least 18 students were diagnosed with the infectious disease.
Okay, what is scabies?
It's a rash.
Okay.
Isn't that... Wait, okay. Scabies isn't crabs?
Well, it is caused by a mite. A little creature.
Okay.
But they normally it's not visible to the naked eye. But it's not It's not crabs.
It's not okay.
It's not like
but
crotch
do you
crabs.
get it down there?
You can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
The scabies will burrow under the skin and lay eggs.
Oh God.
An itchy rash consisting of raised tracts, bumps, or blisters may appear on parts of the body, including between fingers, wrists, elbows, armpits, waistline, thighs.
3WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kat. A couple minutes, we're going to have Chris Long and Connor Barwin on, chat a little bit about their charity endeavors and a few other things as well. But I have a couple shout outs that we can get to.
All ready to go.
In the time being, this one I got a little while back, but I missed it by a day. We were off yesterday, so it's okay. And this is from someone named Micah Carrick. I always like that name, Micah.
Yeah.
Micah.
Oh,
spell that.
yes.
Says, hey, my wife is a Philly girl, but we met in Portland, Oregon, and have lived here for 15 years.
Back home to Oregon.
Starting with pulling MP3s off of your RSS feed.
Oh my God!
To now streaming your podcast. What's an RSS feed?
It's the encoded feed.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said she listens to every episode. She also turned me into an Eagles fan. She's got a bit of that Philly girl, but is a lovely and kind person and an amazing wife. I was hoping you could give a quick happy birthday to Sunny from Portland on December 9th. So we can. Well, we're doing it on the 10th, but here's a shout out, by the way, for you. All right, Nick, pull this up. An RSS feed, a really simple syndication feed. A way to receive information from websites in a standardized format without having to search for it manually.
Oh, and we have one.
Had never heard that term. I guess we did.
I love how he says she's Philly but nice.
Yeah, exactly. Philly but nice. Then I got this one. It's a camp out shout out, and it says, "Good morning to see you, Presbo. Just wanted to thank you for what appears to be another successful camp out, and I say that because of the crowds that were there, the people who stop in and the donations that were made. Is truly a wonderful thing. I want to say that my brother and I, his name is Michael Jordan. Yes, that is his name. And we have been going to camp out every year since you've been to the Wells Fargo complex, and it is something that we look forward to every year. And even though there you go. That's for Michael. And even brought a few friends a couple of years talking about you, Kim, it says. And last, a big shout out to the YouTube crew. It was awesome to finally meet some of them in person after chatting in the tube for however long it has been. They all rock. Thank you, and rage on Gadzoops and keep it in Nooch. Mark, a.k.a. J-Man. So it's Mark Jordan, but I guess on YouTube, on the YouTube feed, he goes by J-Man. So that was cool. It was great to see all those people get together.
That was another highlight, seeing the YouTube collective represented as well as they were.
Yeah, and to actually meet each other in person. Yeah.
And they all have these handles.
Yeah, and so let's keep that going. Let's make sure that those guys continue to interact with each other in person. Here's another one, shout out, and it is from Paul Sorrentino. I just want to thank you and the cast for all you do at Camp Out for Hunger and for our community. I'm the principal at Magnolia Public School, and we've been going to Camp Out for 5 years now. We delivered 3,200 cans on Thursday.
Wow.
And I brought the class that raised the most, the 6th grade, Mr. Cam's class. And they enjoyed the rides and the show. Thanks to Bernie Perrant for all the dirty jokes while we were there, by the way. Glad I got to finally meet some of you after the show for a fleeting second. You guys rock. And I emailed him back because I remembered that morning looking around and I saw a group of students.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I hope I'll get a chance to get over there and say hi.
Yeah.
But they left before the show was over, so we didn't get a chance to say hello to them. And I wanted to, thank the kids in person for coming out.
A lot of people don't know that, and usually is the case. We'll finish up the broadcast, and at the end of the broadcast, you tell the audience if you would like to hang around, we'd love to meet you. But not everyone gets to hear that. So.
Yep. Here's another one. It says, hey, bitches, I wanted to get a juicy shout out for my amazing husband, Tyler. It's our first anniversary. We absolutely love you guys. Listen every day. You guys gave us a little taste of home when we were homesick living out in Colorado a couple of years back, and that was awesome. You guys rock, and that is from Taylor W. So here's an anniversary shout out. This one I got, and like I said, we got a few minutes to kill, so I want to make sure that I have a chance to get to these shout outs. Sometimes they back up, and you know how shorts are. You can't keep them in.
Absolutely. They'll eventually explode out.
And then sometimes I misplace them, so I want to get to this one. This is from Michelle Torney, and she says, hey, I wanted to thank you again for an awesome prize I won for getting Problem Child correct in the Connoisseur segment on Friday the 22nd. Had I not been so nervous when calling and gotten to talk more, I would have loved to tell you guys how much I enjoyed your show all these years. You truly make my commute to work a brighter one every morning. Growing up in Northeast Philly, my mom would have you on while driving me to Little Flower Catholic High School for Girls.
Oh, my God.
Little Flower.
Oh, my God.
I'm a 2006 graduate, so that's back to Y100. And since then, I've had you guys on every chance I can get. I'm a 9 to 5 court reporter at the Montgomery County Courthouse now. I have 2 beautiful girls, 9 and 4, who even laugh at the jokes that you tell, appropriate or not. And this shout out is really for you, Steve, Kathy, Nick, Casey Boy, and Marissa. You guys rock, and I hope you never go off the air. Happy holidays. So that was very nice.
It's amazing. We did meet a lot of people who were full-grown adults with their own children who started listening when they were children.
Yeah. I had a guy who says, I started listening to you when I was 15 or 16. He's like, I'm 42 now. And I'm like, oh, my God.
What the hell?
Where did this?
You're a liar.
How did that happen? And then
that picture that Casey and Nick recreated with the...
oh, my God.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
The kid not...
Explain that, please.
Okay, so let do something else because I want to pull it up.
All right, I'll read this email.
Oh my Lord!
No, we're not gonna sing a spiritual song. No. This was sent to Marissa and said, "Hey, I had to reach out. I'm a podcaster because I love the birthday and entertainment report, but they are on before I'm in the car. Thursday show I listened through. Wait, Thursday show I listened to throughout the weekend to go deeper in the show." Just heard the interview with the Wolves of Glendale and heard you mention the Tasty Freeze in Madison, Virginia. I'm 48 and discovered you guys when I moved to the area in 1998 and got my first gig at an architecture firm in Havertown. But before college, I did high school in Madison, Virginia. Our lives there were very much a John Mellencamp song, as the Tasty Freeze was a popular hangout. Before we would go on hunting in the fall, we would meet up with the guys for breakfast, sort of dinner-esque, and it often was a pregame meal before Friday night football games. The big battle, small-town drama, was when a McDonald's was coming into the county, and people feared that it would put the Tasty Freeze out of business. It sort of did, but the Freeze rebranded as an ice cream place, and so that one in Madison survived. For reference, there are more cows in Madison County than people. Keep doing what you're all doing, and I tell people I hate the commute, but realize in the pandemic I needed the time before and after work to change modes, and Preston and Steve is my go-to every morning and sometimes in the afternoon when I'm not listening to sports radio. You guys have made the 3-hour trips to and from the job site and late nights in the studio bearable for years. So this guy's in the D.C. area. So
it's amazing.
So he says, as Dr. Mike says, love ya. So that's from Chris Miller. I thought that was kind of fun about the Tasty Freeze.
So there's a listener named Kelly Brown, and she stopped by last week, and she also stopped by Camp Out for Hunger 15 years ago when her daughter Izzy was a little thing, and she was wearing a turkey costume the first time she came out. And then she came out again last week wearing a similar turkey costume, and she was bawling, crying 15 years ago. She was not having fun. I tried picking her up to hold her, console her a little bit, and then Casey came on my back a little bit and said the same thing. You know, he was crying, and then they came back last week. They wanted to recreate the photo, and so I picked her up. She's 17 now, and Casey had his hands on my shoulders once again and made a similar face. So to do that for Izzy and for Kelly Brown really made me laugh. And thanks to those guys for coming out 15 years apart.
That's great. Great.
I need to apologize and give a shout out to my friend Chris Gicking. Chris is the head coach, head football coach at Marple Newtown High School, and he's also.
Did you say his last name is Gick?
Gicking, yeah, we call him Gick.
That's my mom would, if something was gross, she'd be like, "Ugh, Gick."
Yeah, we say Gucky, or at least my mom did. But anyway, so he was texting me on Tuesday night asking if the Papa Shot machine was still there. And I was like, yeah, but
we're not allowed to say Papa Shot, by the way.
Well, no, we're not allowed to say Papa Shot contest.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not allowed to market it. But it was
Yeah.
a Mini Hoops Madness. But anyway. He was like, dude, I could totally crush those guys, blah, blah, blah. Now, Chris, in his time, he was the Delco Athlete of the Year. So
Right.
Yeah, but I told him, I said, yeah, they're taking it out. And it was there all week long. So he really could have come and played the Papa Shot. But I really do have to apologize. But they also, Marble Newtown comes out every year. They have a food drive every year. They do like a, what are those things called? Bago, cornhole tournaments and stuff like that.
Bag hole?
Yeah, I want to thank all those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's a different story when you're in front of a big group of people who are watching you very, very closely that you're trying to shoot well. So.
I was wondering if maybe next year we let them have a shoot around first, like while we're, in commercial break, just so they're not just shooting cold or not. But I don't care.
Maybe. I don't know. We could have another machine in the back or something like them for the practice with. But anyhow, wanted to mention those shout-outs.
Pat Gallen's mom, I don't think we said it on the air, but I told you, Preston, afterwards, when she was leaving after the mini hoops contest, she leans into me and she goes, "He's out of the will."
Yeah, you did say that.
It sucks because he actually did really well. I just said everybody had a monstrous first round.
It was great.
Everybody was firing on all cylinders.
It was by far the best shooting contest we've ever had because it was neck and neck all the way.
And our two finalists were wearing long sleeve button down shirts, which I found. I'm like, I can't believe you guys could do that like that.
Well, and John did wear the belt on air, and Matt O'Donnell was apparently talking some trash, saying he's coming back next year and he wants to win.
Okay. All right. Done and done. Real quick, I want to mention the Christmas Miracle live broadcast that we have coming up. That's our next big thing.
It'll be good to get out and do a live broadcast.
Yeah, won't it? We will be in Phoenixville at the Colonial Theater, and it's presented by Phoenixville First. I'm actually looking very much forward to this event.
Listen, if somebody else comes with their knockers out and pasties on, it'll be a good morning.
It's a win.
All right, I'll do it.
It's a win. So there are a couple of events coming up where you can head to and possibly get some tickets to join us for this event. So the next pre-party for the Christmas Miracle Miller Lite event is going to be this Friday at McGurk's in Horsham. And that will be from 8 to 10 and $3.75 Miller Lite drafts and bottles. And we'll be giving away passes like every 15 minutes. And then the next one will be this Saturday. It's 3 hours, by the way, and double the winners. This is going to be at Brickette Lounge in Westchester. And Marissa will be there on Saturday night, 6 to 9 p.m., and they have $15 buckets and $4 16-ounce Miller Lite cans. And like I said, we will be giving away the Miracle Seat winners every 15 minutes.
It's your best shot at getting in because obviously you're playing against all the listening audience when you try to call in. So that's a good way to refine your competition down.
Yep, exactly. So make sure that you go to WMMR.com and get the details or the other ways to win as well. And we got to start doing some giveaways on air for that stuff too. All right, are our guests ready to go, Marissa? Are they both on via Zoom? Is this what's
One by phone.
Chris is
Oh,
on
one's
phone.
by phone and one's by Zoom. I did not know we were doing it that way. Okay, well, let me get first our guest who is on the Xfinity mobile guest line. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Long is joining us.
Hey.
Chris, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I got y'all. How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you?
I'm doing real well. We had a big night last night, so that was a lot of fun. It's good to be back in town.
Nice. All right, so should I bring on our next guest too via Zoom? So we're going to try to do all this.
You guys are real wizards, man.
I'm saying we're linking it up together via Zoom. We have our friend Connor Barwin who's on as well. Yo, Connor.
What's up, guys? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Were you at the event last night too?
I was. We
All
had
right,
a great event.
Tell us about the event. We were busy with the other things these past few days. So what was going on that we missed out on?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, well, I mean, this is our second year in a row doing team dinner at Steak 48 downtown there, and this was, obviously an idea that I give Connor and his team with Jesse a little bit more credit for thinking of it, but he was like, let's get together and do a team dinner like when we played, and, bring people in every year, bring Eagles to Steak 48, bring some Eagles legends out there, kind of bring the fans in, bring some donors in so everybody feels like they're part of the team. And it really does have that feel. 2 years in a row, great energy, and probably even better last night. I don't think we've done the final tally yet, but I'm pretty confident to say we raised more money. And it's just a great opportunity for, number one, the fans to get a feeling like, hey, they are at one of those team dinners from when we used to play, which was our favorite thing. And then secondly, to hear about the causes that Connor and myself championed. So very, very thankful to Steak 48 and to all the people that showed up. So it was an awesome night.
And so, Chris, you're talking about Water Boys, which is your initiative, correct?
Yeah, well, so Chris Long Foundation has Water Boys, but we also do an educational equity piece of it that we're kind of showcasing with this deal called Ed Zone. And we're actually cutting the ribbon today in Philly, working with Cradles to Crowns. But basically, guys, it's like these are essential needs lockers that we're putting into elementary schools. Like, I always am super, I don't know, as a student growing up, I wasn't real confident. So I feel that for those grade level kids. And, if you think about some kids coming to school without winter coats, without shoes that don't have holes in them, without hygiene products, shampoo, toothpaste, deodorant, that can really cut into a kid's their confidence.
Yeah,
And,
it's the stuff of nightmares. I mean,
it's hard enough to learn, anyways. But if you're not confident, if you don't have dignity, and if you don't have access to products like that, it can be really hard. So we put these in Charlottesville, in my hometown. We've done all the elementary schools there, and then we're cutting the ribbon here today in Philly. So we're super excited.
Yeah, it is an essential thing. I mean, you think about that, and I think if your shoes with holes in them or whatever, and you kids can be cruel and they pick on other kids, and it's part of the process. I get it, but there is something that just lives with you, and it can set you down a bad path. And to have that, and to have that assistance means the world. So kudos to you guys for doing that.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then Connor, the Make the World Better Foundation, this has benefited from the event last night too?
Yeah, and I got the numbers. We raised $100,000 the first year, and we doubled it. So we were over, I think, $225,000.
Yeah, dude, that's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, it's a fun night. it's back to what we did when we did team dinners and players. And it's just about having a good meal with people, enjoying time together, and sharing stories and having fun. So shout out to Chris and his foundation and what they do, and the team at MTWB for helping put it together. But yes, the money benefits both our foundation and for us, it's public parks and giving kids access to safe places to play in the city.
What's the latest project you guys are eyeing at Make the World Better right now, Connor? You always pick out something specific.
Yeah. We just broke the ribbon on VER, which is a $20 million rec center, and we are quietly looking at our next project. So I can't announce it, but hopefully another one similar size to VER. It might be over in West Philly, but we got to figure out some stuff before I publicly announce the next project. But we're working on it right now.
We heard rumors that your next project is a company that will be putting holes into children's shoes. So that it's one ecosystem there. No. Again, that's another aspect of it. The parks, the recreational equipment, the things that convert fallow, unused areas of the city and the outlying areas and turn them into places of memories and physical, exercise. Oh, there's just everything is a net gain and there's no loss. So again, another wonderful charity.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. And I'll just say, thanks to Chris and everybody. We had Harold Carmichael, Mike Quist, Seth Joyner, Brent Selleck, Todd Harriman, BG, Fletcher Cox, AJ Feely, Jason Avant, Moro Ojima. We had a bunch of players there. So it was really a special night. So thanks to all those guys for showing up and supporting us.
Connor and Chris, I want to ask both you guys about BG, about Brandon Graham, because, you both played with him. You both have been friends with him for a long time. And this season ended in a way that nobody had hoped for. How's he doing? What's his mental state like? And what was it like playing with a guy like that who continues to be a leader and both on and off the field? Chris, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I saw him last night. He seemed great, and he's just always had a good attitude. What you see is what you get with him. And so I just, I told him personally, if that's how it ends, now I don't know if it's over for him or not. He's not going to say that, but that was a pretty badass way to go out. He was playing at a pretty high level at his age, and I think he still means a lot to that defensive line, and I'm sure he'll be in their ear the rest of the way. You talk about a guy that's excuse me, a little under the weather. They need veterans in that room, whether they're playing or not. And I think he's a valuable member of the room, not just a player. So, if he just keeps the same attitude he has and continues to, get the guys going, keep those young, like Jalen Carter and those guys, and Nolan, and Josh Sweat's a vet at this point for sure. But it just helps to have a guy like BG. And playing with a guy like BG is a lot of fun. He's one of the most unselfish teammates I ever had. When I came to Philly, he certainly didn't need to move inside, but to be able to get the best four rushers on the field on third down, that's what he did, because, it was helpful for me to play left end. And so he's just always been that guy, and he's just a great friend. Appreciative of him showing up last night.
Connor, you echo that as well?
Yeah. I mean, just an unbelievable person, great football player, as Chris said, loves his teammates, really sort of an incredible teammate, obviously a great player. I admire, him so much because, obviously he made the biggest play in maybe franchise history in the Super Bowl, but, his career wasn't all rainbows. And so, the resilience that he sort of battled through early on in his career is really something to admire and a good example for players across the league, and especially the Eagles.
Connor, did you know Brandon growing up? Because you guys are both Detroit boys, right?
Yeah, no, he was a year younger than me. We didn't know each other. No, he was a big time high school recruit. I think he might have been the number one D lineman coming out of the country when he went to University of Michigan. So we didn't really cross paths. I was a little under recruited, but it was a great pleasure to come here at 13 and play with him. Played with him for 4 years.
So I have to ask you, when you're all sitting down to dinner together and you have this list of luminaries, who socks away the most food at that table?
That's a good question. I was working the room a little bit. CB, did you see anybody buried in their plate? I mean, the food.
Yeah, I don't know who does. That is a fun question.
BG.
I'm trying to think about back in the day.
Yeah,
BG used to. BG used to. He was always fun because he would eat a lot, right? But then BG was, and Chris, you probably remember this from your days with other teams. Like BG would always get food to go, so he always got his wife food. He always got desserts for his wife. So like BG started that trend where people were ordering for like their wives or their significant others. BG started that.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I had teammates that used to put like full tomahawk steaks in 2 boxes. Like they had to combine 2 boxes, and they were taking.
Man,
like, it's just BG's one of those guys too. He'll grub all day at the facility too. He's always got a bowl of something.
I think it's just human nature, man. You can be a top level athlete and making a really great living, but you still see your opportunity to take some free stuff from time to time.
You're gonna get it.
Hell yeah!
It's why you eat on an airplane.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. For sure.
It's part of the deal.
If it's free, it's me.
Connor, we had to ask a little bit about the Philly Special Christmas album and all that, you being the executive producer of that. Now, executive producer, are you in the room making the call on what kind of microphones we're going to use and who's doing the layered harmonies, or what was your role in all of that?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that, but I am paying. But I am paying the guy that's doing that and making sure everybody, shows up, signs the contracts. We get the recordings to the manufacturer to make the vinyl. All of that sort of stuff is sort of what I'm doing behind the scenes. And thanks for asking, because it's fun to sort of share with you all. This is the last record we're doing.
No kidding.
And the guys had a really big goal to do something really big this year with proceeds from the record. And so we have started delivering gifts. It started Monday morning to all 200,000 kids in the Philadelphia public school system.
Wow.
Yes, it's crazy. Nothing like has ever been done before like this. And so, we got something for all 200,000 kids. That's the Philly public and charter school system.
Wow.
Pre-K to 12th grade.
That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. Congratulations on the success of that, man. That's huge.
I'm a little shocked to hear that you're not wearing a Phil Spector wig and shooting a firearm into the ceiling. It kind of, a disillusion. Yeah.
Did you know before this album that Kylie Kelsey could sing? Like, I was blown away.
Jason had said that before. And I do believe almost everything he tells me. But I had no idea. I mean, when we were in the studio and she did it, everyone was sort of blown away. We thought there was like a little bit of like, husband, wife, a little overconfidence that he, biased to his wife, but she can freaking sing. And that was really cool to have her do that song with Jason.
Connor, I'm a huge Mountjoy fan. I really love Matt and Sam. They're great guys, but they grew up in the area and they're huge Eagles fans. So I imagine that getting Matt Quinn and Sam Cooper on the record wasn't that difficult. You probably just had to ask. But how the hell did you land Stevie Nicks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Matt was cool. Just the story on him was, me and Jason both know him as well. And he's just an awesome guy, huge Eagles fan. So we invited him to the studio and he just like hung out in the studio for a couple of days. And then finally by the 3rd day, he mustered the confidence to sort of share what he called was a really bad idea. He's like, guys, I have a really bad idea. And we were like, what is it? He was like, why don't we redo Astrovan into Santa Drives an Astrovan? And we were like, dude, what are you talking about? That's an awesome idea. And then he went home and rewrote the lyrics and then came back the next day and we're like, yes, this is going to be huge. So that was really fun to do. Making the music video was fun with him and his team. And then Stevie Nicks, honestly, that's not as sort of fun of a story, but that was just, people knowing each other and Stevie sort of being a fan of really the Kelsey family, I think from the documentary, and sort of managers got in touch with each other. And we were like, well, let's ask Stevie. And we asked her and her team was unbelievable. She came to Philly. She was in the studio with Jason. She was in there for like 5 hours. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And she was all in. Like, she just wanted to do something with Jason. And And for people that haven't heard the song, it's a beautiful song that they did together.
So what was that like? The being in the studio with an absolute legend, a rock and roll Hall of Famer, somebody that is doing what they do, and you're watching this happen.
Well, it was really similar to last year with Patti LaBelle, where I was so nervous about making sure we had everything set up for them. And both Patti and Stevie were the nicest people I've ever been around, and their team, right? Their teams were also, and I just feel like people that are that successful, they just get it, right? And they know how to work with people. And Stevie was so kind, and she was storytelling. Like, she told stories for hours, which was really cool. And just nice to everybody. So it was very cool to see. And she was like encouraging Jason to take singing lessons and trying to like connect. She was like, "I'll introduce you to my singing coach, and you can," it was a lot of fun.
It's refreshing. We've had the similar situation where we've met some really, really big A-list superstars, and sometimes you find out that they get it. They're actually decent people, and you're walking on eggshells because you're scared to death of how you're going to feel, or you're going to do anything wrong.
Right.
It's going to be,
right.
And they end up being wonderful people, and it's great when that happens. So that's really cool to hear, man. That's excellent. Well, listen, guys, we appreciate you checking in. You continue to both do great work in this area. We're very proud of you, very happy for you. And if there's anything else we need to know, anything else you want to hit before we let you go, Connor?
No, we love being on the show. Hope everybody comes to the team dinner next year. And you can still buy the record to support getting gifts to every kid in the Philadelphia public school system. It's a great Christmas present.
And Chris, anything you want to hit before we sign off?
No, Connor's the man. Keep up the great work. ChrisLongFoundation.org if you want to check out the work we do.
All right. You guys are both great. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Chris Long, Connor Barwin on the Preston and Steve Show. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a great holiday if we do not encounter you between now and then. All right. We are going to take a quick break. A reminder, today's Tattoo Day. You want to win a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo, text the word tattoo to 39333. Because we're going to give that away by the end of the program. Check them out at Floating World Tattoos on Instagram. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Including the nutsack.
Yes, probably.
Yeah.
Well, there
all the little crevices and cracks.
Yeah.
They lay
Ball
their eggs.
sacks are yummy.
I remember in high school there was an outbreak in our school, but it was everyone who was getting it down there.
Yeah. And so it seems like it's few and far between that we have scabies outbreaks. I always consider that one of those bizarre peripheral things like scurvy and gout.
There was the guy that I told you about that wanted to go halfsies on the fleshlight.
Oh yeah. And by the way, again, take that in. Nick knows someone who wanted to go halfsies on a fleshlight.
Yeah.
God, I hate him.
Yeah, me too. I love him, but I hate him. But there was an outbreak of it in college.
Is this guy an Elvis impersonator by any chance?
No. But he was at the Nationals game last night. But he was in college. He got scabies, and he got it through sexual contact. And so we would make fun of him incessantly afterwards. And the way that we'd make fun of him was just by saying scabies every time we would walk by. But yeah, he got it through sexual contact with a very dirty girl.
Okay, all right. By the way, Steve, you mentioned scurvy. Scurvy, I read the other day, is making a comeback.
Of course.
Hey, it's all the rage.
Because of like fasting diets and things like that.
Oh,
People
that's
are not,
awesome.
They're not getting the vitamin C that they need,
what
I
is
guess.
that?
We thought we'd missed out on it, Preston, because we weren't able to take the trip to the New World.
Yeah, it's
But,
a vitamin C deficiency, and it can make you really, really sick.
And like fruit and stuff like that was how you fought it, right?
Yep,
And leprosy, we learned, is making a comeback.
That's where the term limeys came from, is when the English would travel, they would load up all these limes to try and keep scurvy away. Hang on a second. Maddie has scabies, and Kathy's going to leave the room now. She doesn't even want to be on the phone with somebody with scabies. Hey, how you doing, Maddie?
Good. I had scabies.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, it says actually has scabies.
Yes,
Okay.
I had scabies, and it was horrible. I think I got it on the Appalachian Trail because there was no STD thing going on.
Yep. Okay. So it's interesting that you mentioned that, and that's possibly where this particular outbreak came from. But I'll get into those details in a moment. How bad did it get for you?
It was horrible, dude. Every fold in your skin on your body, they burrow into and they lay eggs. And there's these little tunnels It's horrible. And
You're laughing as you're talking about scabies tunnels.
yes,
Yeah.
these tunnels, they're like under your skin, like in your knuckles and the creases of your finger.
die.
So Maddie,
in your junk too.
in your junk. Okay, we're looking at a picture. You're right, Maddie. It says skin condition caused by burrowing mite.
And they lay the eggs in there, yeah.
They lay the eggs. It was horrible. They gave me this poison that I had to rub all over my body.
Yep.
And I had to wait like an hour and let it like seep in. And then blistering caused. There's like blistering afterwards.
Maddie, let me ask you: did they make the trip down to your junk? Did you have it around that region?
They were anywhere there's a fold or a crease. There is burrowing mite.
And not for anything. Go ahead.
Here's the reason why it spreads like that. The incubation period is like 2 to 6 weeks.
Oh my God!
Before the itching even occurs, so it gets all over your body. These
And you don't know yet?
And like you said, Maddie, listen. It says the doctor in this story said you apply this cream. It's a topical prescription from scalp to toes. Every part of the body.
Everywhere, and it burns.
And then you have to sleep overnight with it on. They said it needs to be on for 8 to 10 hours for it to work properly. Yeah.
Do you have to put it in the butthole?
Oh my
God. You put it everywhere, Preston.
Okay.
Thank you for clearing your throat.
Do you have to put it butthole?
No, I'm a 40-year-old man, and I had it when I was like 30, and I had to have my mother rub the cream on my back. That's how
you didn't have to.
Yeah, I would have.
I mean, can you
Like, who else am I going to ask?
I don't know.
Thanks, Maddie. I appreciate it.
Maybe like a girlfriend or wife.
Somebody who could put it in your
mother. I have to go over to my 30-year-old single son and rub ointment in his ass.
That is horrifying.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I did not realize the burrowing was an issue. That that adds a whole other realm of hell to it. I always thought it was a slightly bit more benign, but it does sound very similar to genital crabs.
So they said the outbreak was caused by a camping trip that some of the students attended.
Oh, they went to Whore Island.
The doctor said they all hung out together, which is the typical story for scabies. Some of the kids, we did see a few of them, and that most likely it was just because they were all in close contact with each other. They were camping.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when the whores come in.
It's true. So sleeping bags and things of that nature and camping tents, it's a confined space.
I've had a few texts come in, and also it looked like a call had been up as well. Were you guys familiar with chiggers?
Yeah. Chiggers, yes.
Yeah. Growing up I lived in the South for a little while, and we would always warn about, those look like chigger bites. Which were painful. I mean, because you could scratch them until they bled almost. I mean, as a kid, I was just itch so much you wouldn't stop scratching.
That's why that park went out of business at Chiggerland.
Yeah, no, that's Digger World.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking of. But anyhow, I don't know if they're the same.
They're related, I guess.
Are they?
Yeah, they're also mites. They're just different kind of mites.
Chiggers, I always assumed were a little bit bigger.
I don't know. Mites, I guess, you can't really see them.
No, these ones are called trombiculid mites.
Okay.
Which are different than the scabies mites.
By the way, there are little creatures all over your body all the time, Kathy.
I
right?
plan on it.
Oh, stop it.
Like in your hair follicles.
Constantly. Oh, you're crawling in and out of all sorts of orifices.
No, not mine.
And then, of course, they have to defecate.
Right.
Oh, my God.
I mean, they are alive.
I mean, and so all over your body, there's little recesses where they're crapping.
All right.
And then having sex.
Interesting.
In your own body.
Growing up, my dogs would get fleas all the time.
Yeah.
And it's never been an issue.
From sleeping with dirty dogs.
No, but I mean, it's kind of an invasive species.
It's incredibly invasive.
And
once you get it in the house,
we had to have our house bombed a couple of times. And because, my one dog, he would just kind of like hop the fence and run the neighborhood. So I don't know where you pick up fleas. Where do you?
Anywhere.
Any street corner. They usually dress like slutty.
Nothing quite like Scabby Welts, man.
Yeah.
That's
the old bluegrass singer.
His name is Scabby Welts, and he sold more records in Pakistan than Slim Whitman. Hi, I'm Scabby Welts. It's great here to provide you folks with music. Music that'll make you want to scratch.
He and Boxcar Willie went out on tour together. So,
But he died of scratching himself to death.
Yeah. Scabby Welds. You remember Scabby?
Yeah.
From the good old
Order
days.
now and get a second collection from Pussy Fistula.
Oh my God.
Let's see if we can get an answer to our stupid question. Wow. I don't know who's on the phone. I don't know what they have to say. So I think our phone screener's messed up here. So
This is Guess the Caller Wednesdays, Preston. It's a new thing.
Okay. Hang on now. My phone lines aren't even lit up. I gotta.
Okay.
Casey has to do what's called retake the board.
You need a gun?
No, it's a little step process where he has to hit a few buttons and can I try it?
Go for
All right,
it.
let me see here.
For it.
No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So now he's got to do
Is this because of cleaning?
Of course it is.
Oh, it is.
You touched something.
I didn't do the board.
Try now, bro.
All right. Hi. No. It shows that somebody has them on the line right now.
Did Preston do the board?
No,
Hey, Casey,
Robin did the board.
Can you talk to them through that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, Casey's going to interpret. Ask the person who's on the phone.
Hey, WMMR, who's this? John, how you doing, bro? What's your
All right.
answer, man? What's the question?
Ask John. So the angles in a triangle add up to how many degrees?
Yeah, how many degrees, bro?
Bro.
He says 180. Is that right?
John's right.
Wait, hold the earpiece up to the microphone.
Yeah, let's see if we can hear this.
All right.
Hey, wait. I got to wait for the bells and
No,
whistles.
you'd have to put the other one so we could hear him.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, there you go. Hey, John, can you hear me? No, Casey, there. Jesus. Let me try this again. John, can you hear me? John, say something. Can you hear me? No, we can't hear him. Casey's actually holding the handset up to the microphone.
He was talking, John. Can you hear
I know,
him?
but we can't. The mic. Yeah, just barely.
By the way, I
Just
think he said his
barely.
name is Ken.
Now, is this John or Ken? He did say Ken.
That's why I wasn't answering.
All right, listen, Ken. Sammy's got to go.
We gotta go. You won.
Oh dear God! Wow. All right.
Give him his goddamn prize.
So the answer is 180 degrees.
All right.
I think we have it. I think it's
I have
fixed
no
now.
empathy.
Hold
I
on.
have no
Wait. No, it's not. I just hit the button and nothing happened.
It's not.
That sucks. It's not working, Case.
Great.
We were going to play the whoosh.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing is working.
How did they clean the board with a hammer?
No, we use Q-tips.
Q-tips attached
We
to hammers?
specifically didn't hit any buttons or unplug anything.
Or you did.
Or it
push
did.
buttons
You totally did.
and had lesbian love on the board.
Casey's trying to fix this so that we can hear that wonderful sound effect, but it's going to take a little while, so I'll move on.
I bet you other shows can play woot woot.
Okay, now the board just disappeared on me.
Everything's shut down.
I wonder.
All right. It's literally the board, which is normally lit up with all kinds of crazy blinking lights, is now dead. All right, now it came back on. All right.
Yeah.
Yep, we're good to go.
Marissa says yes.
We're still on the air. Congratulations, guys. We were talking earlier about the three women behind home plate at the World Series, flashing their bibbies. By the way, did that make it on national television?
yeah.
It did, yes.
Clearly. I don't care about the World Series right now. So.
There was no mistaking it, and I find myself watching behind home plate a lot. I don't know
I
why,
always do
but
too,
I get
yeah.
distracted by it, and then you saw this coming on, and it was one of those things where the instant reaction was, "Wait, did I just see what I think I just saw?" Yeah,
right.
Are the mooning and the pressed ham as big anymore?
I mooned somebody last week.
You did last week?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I was going to press hand, but I didn't want to. It was down the hall at the other studio.
I didn't see.
Wait, our own coworkers?
Yeah.
I didn't see bare ass yesterday, but I did see a man spread his butt cheeks on the streets of Philadelphia.
WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, it's brought to you by Helium Comedy Club, bringing the laughs to Philly for many years. Helium Comedy has the best comics of today and tomorrow live every week, and tickets and lineup are available at heliumcomedy.com. The mayor of a small Georgia town was found not guilty of leaving alcohol in a ditch for inmates to find while on work detail.
Left you a little something.
Thomas Mayor Benji Cranford.
Left you some ditch booze.
Thompson is the name of the town, actually. Was standing trial for furnishing prohibited items to inmates and attempting to commit a felony. After being charged, Governor Brian Kemp suspended Cranford from the office pending the outcome of the trial. Now,
What did I do?
Neither prosecutors nor defense attorneys argue the fact that Cranford bought a bottle of Seagram's extra dry gin that ended up in the ditch. But defense attorneys say that it fell out of the car when he was resetting his Bluetooth connection.
It does happen. You often lose a lot of liquor during a Bluetooth reset.
During the trial, he testified that he didn't remember what happened and that he bought the gin because his friend told him that it would help prevent him from getting malaria.
Yeah, good point.
It would help prevent him from getting malaria.
When was the last time you heard of an alcoholic getting malaria?
It's true. It's a good point. And you know how crazy malaria gets in Georgia, man. It's just the malaria capital of the country.
Isn't there some connection from gin and tonics to malaria?
I don't know.
There is. The quinine in gin or something like that. The reason why British settlers in the Caribbean and warm climates started drinking gin and tonics was that it, believe it or not, actually helped prevent malaria.
I think you're right on the quinine element of it and the Bluetooth. Early settlers employed Bluetooth to keep the mosquitoes away.
Cranford said that he
Comes
knew
right up when you search it.
The mosquitoes and
malaria
and
and
gin.
tonic.
Yeah. All right. Well, for whatever reason, this guy was afraid of getting malaria in Georgia.
That's it.
Cranford said that he knew no one on the work crew from the Jefferson County Correctional Institution and had no reason to buy alcohol for people he didn't know. So he was found not guilty. A man in Canada's far north. Listen to this story. Okay?
All right.
I should have prefaced it with that. A man in Canada's far north leapt onto a polar bear to protect his wife from being mauled, police said. Now that is going the distance.
That's
yes.
a hero right there.
You
know what? I got to give it to you, bro.
Did
not see that coming.
Unnamed man. The unnamed man suffered serious injuries, but is expected to recover.
I had to mess you up just a little, but I really respect you.
The couple left their house at around 5 local time on Tuesday to find their dogs.
Beat it up, Betty!
When a bear, which was in the driveway of their home, lunged at the woman. The incident happened in Fort Severn First Nation, which is a small community of about 400 people in the far north of Ontario.
It's the kind of place where you can walk out your front door and be attacked by a polar bear.
Police said the woman slipped to the ground as her husband leapt on the animal to prevent its attack. The bear then attacked the male, causing serious but non-life-threatening injuries to his arms and legs.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
A neighbor arrived with a gun and shot the bear several times. It retreated into the nearby woods where it died of its injuries. The man was transported to a community nursing station where he was treated for his injuries.
That's miraculous.
Police said they continued to patrol the area to ensure that no other bears were roaming the community. And Alyssa McCall, a scientist at Polar Bear International, said that polar bears rarely do attack humans. When an attack occurs, the bear is often hungry, young, and unwell. Normally, the bears are
young, dumb, and full of salmon.
Are far from human settlers, but she said, if you are attacked by a polar bear, definitely do not play dead. That is a myth. And she said, fight as long as you can.
There is the color protocol.
All right.
Brown.
Lay down.
Lay down. Black.
Get back.
Get back. You know what I'm talking about, Nick, right? There's the trick, and basically polar bear,
white.
kiss your ass goodbye. Good night.
Yeah, something like that. White good night. I'm not sure.
Yeah, white good night. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night.
But they're saying fight back with white.
Well, she's just saying you have no alternative.
Yeah.
If you try to play dead, it's going to eat you.
Right.
So you might as well, you might as well try and fight because, like this dude, you might get away with it.
It's like the ending scene in The Gray. You know, he's like, dude,
F it.
You know what? I'm going to go down. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die fighting.
Because wolves have a particular set of skills.
All right, here's another bear story. As if you don't have enough problems these days, bears have been increasingly encroaching on inhabited areas, causing injuries, damage, and general terror among residents. And this is especially true in the more rural parts of Japan, where a dwindling population has made bears bolder in their search for food. Even
for a little sake?
Even in Akita City, the capital and most populated city in Akita Prefecture, is concerned with bear encounters and has enlisted the help of what they call the DJ police.
Wow.
So DJ police is the official adopted name for members of crowd control units across Japan who often stand on boxes on top of riot cars and speak to crowds through big speakers.
Right.
And part of the reason for the name, which is used by the police themselves, is that these cops resemble DJs in their booths standing above crowds during festival events.
Okay, Bear Population, it's time to pump up the jam.
Police set up in front of JR Tushizaki Station and told passersby to be careful when going out at night, to keep entrances to storage sheds and garages closed, and to not leave strong-smelling garbage outside either.
That's right, Bears, get it going. This party is the shiznit.
Get ready to drop the bass. Hopefully, this will help include...
If it's brown, party down.
Will help reduce the number of bear attacks in the area. If not, they may have to resort to actually driving around and playing EDM to drive the bears away.
It would make sense. Yeah, loud noises.
All right, and there you go. That's it's a short one, chunky stories, but only a few. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. Kathy, I wanted to point out that as the day has gone on, you have started to sound more feminine as we...
You do.
It's because I keep turning my mic off.
The less you talk, the more feminine you sound.
Start of the show was like this.
Great to be here with you.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll see how you've been doing as far as paying attention to the show. We'll do the lesson question. We'll get to trash and music news as well. Stay with us. So we were at Steven Singer Jewelers, and we were walking over there, and somebody had pulled over to it was at right at 8th and Walnut, insanely busy there, okay? So this person had parked his car in a non-parking spot too close to the corner. A city bus is making the turn. The car's parked where it shouldn't be, so the bus can't make the turn. The car is in the way. So the bus driver starts leaning on the horn. Well, the guy who had parked the car happened to be standing right there, and he didn't like that. And he starts flipping off the bus driver. Meanwhile, everybody else is honking their horn, going, dude, move your car, move your car. And the guy bends over, spreads his butt cheeks. I took video after it.
Did he drop trow?
No, he didn't, but he wanted to. He was pointing to his ass and spreading his butt cheeks.
Was he like, excuse me, may I ask you a few questions?
No, but he was spreading his butt cheeks and pointing to it. So it wasn't a full-on moon, and it wasn't pressed ham, but it was still very entertaining.
Yeah.
So this chick is winning.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's talking about
Are you kidding me? Yeah, done deal. Yeah, of course. But she was winning when God gave her a DNA structure that ended up working out nicely.
But this strategy has worked.
Yeah. So the thing is what do you do next? What's how do you top that?
I think you try to become a Supreme Court judge.
Maybe you do that.
All right, guys. When's the next game? Is it tonight?
Yep.
All right.
You going to do it, Case?
Preston Steve butt plug. Behind home plate, what do you think? Do you think that'll get us some?
What do you mean?
If I put a butt plug in and I moon the camera and it says Preston and Steve on it.
I didn't know.
I thought this was a charity thing.
I thought it was a charity event.
I thought he was talking about promoting a charity.
All right, I'll put a can of something up there instead.
Yeah. But
It'll be the Camp Out for Hunger.
We say butt plug all the time.
How about inserting a mag light?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going actual butt plug.
No, is it Preston Steve butt? Yeah, I guess you're. No.
There's a fan there putting a full police mag light into his butt.
You know, the game sure has changed, Ralph.
It's for breast cancer.
Yeah.
You got to get to Houston tonight, Case. It's not in D.C. Sorry.
Yeah. Houston, maybe.
Well, you see, D.C. would have been doable.
Right. All right. How much for a
D.C. was viable, but Houston seems extraordinarily difficult.
Wait, what did you say? How much for a mag light?
No. How much? I may have said that. How much? No. For behind the home plate seats.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, do you carry full-size mag lights like the police use? It's for my butt.
You check that, or you buy it when you get to Houston?
You can buy that when you get to Houston.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's for breast cancer month.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I would do it for Camp Out for Hunger. I mean,
There you go.
That is the
Appreciate
obvious.
Still abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that way, the next time we're up at the award show in Washington.
Right. They remember, they play little clips.
I'm Kelly Ripa, and everyone was moved to tears when Casey put a mag light in his butt.
Wow.
And said, F hunger in the butt.
Those inspiring words are now etched on marble.
That's the statement trying to be made.
Yeah.
F hunger in the butt.
Hunger in the butt. Camp out.
Can't wait to see those signs this year.
Oh my God, no, you can't.
Have your son or daughter.
Yeah.
Camp out for hunger. Let's circle back to the royal family for just a moment. Kate Middleton and Prince William discussed marriage while they were dating in order to take the pressure off of themselves and make sure they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. In royal correspondent Katie Nichols' new book, Kate, the Future Queen, she writes, there on the Paradise Island, William promised Kate that he was in the relationship for the long term. For the very first time, they talked seriously about marriage, and with the ocean before them and beneath the night sky, they made a pact to marry.
My dearest Kate, I love you.
What island were they on? Does it say?
It says the Paradise Island. I don't know if that means Paradise Island in the Bahamas or not.
Yeah, they went to like a Club Med thing.
Yeah.
Unlimited drinks and you don't have to tip. I left my wallet at home. I can't get enough of Buster Poindexter.
They played a hot. Everywhere you go.
It's like Marley in Jamaica.
Hey. Totally. Oh my God. He's walking, he's got 2 drinks with the little umbrellas in his hand. Do a little sachet.
ID.
As the music's playing.
More jerk chicken, please.
The pair did split.
They call it oatmeal, but it tastes like tapioca.
The pair did split temporarily after they made that pact, but all's well that ends well. Of course, they got married in 2011. They have 3 kids, and it's a wonderful, beautiful relationship.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Speaking of beautiful relationships, Amy Schumer and Chris Fisher shocked many when they got married in a secret beach ceremony 2 years ago. But ever since, the pair have turned into couples goals for many. She posted a tribute to him, acknowledging what has changed and what hasn't since welcoming a baby together. She wrote, but before we had our little babe, it was just us. I love Chris so much. I hope whoever you are with is so kind to you and also drives you. Oh, I hope whoever you are with. Is there some of the shut up? Just improv that you have been known to, become to known as? I haven't heard that in a while.
It's been a while.
No, I hope whoever you are with.
Yes, is there some of the improv that you have been come to known as?
From Touchstone Pictures, The King's Speech 2.
Is there some of the improv that you have been come to known as?
Oh my God. Oh. I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. Pregnant Meghan Markle's sartorial choices.
Yes.
These are clothes?
Clothing, yes.
Okay, sartorial.
It's what she likes to eat at the food court.
Oh, okay. No. Frequently give fans a double take, generally for their stunning elegance. But some are wagging their fingers at the Duchess of Sussex for the skirt that she chose to wear on the final day of her royal tour of New Zealand, Fiji, and so on.
It was a full cooter shot.
Well,
it was up above her waist.
No, it wasn't. She paired a stunning royal blue Givenchy sweater with a sheer blue pleated skirt. So there was some see-through to it.
Well, you know what? She has.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. But she has had a higher than they usually like the skirts worn with members of the royal family, but nothing outlandish. Whenever she's out, but she still looks elegant.
You can see the shape of her panties.
Yes. I mean, that's a little
Does
sheer.
it matter that there are sexy photos of her on the internet to the royal family, do you think? Because, when she did Suits and she did some modeling
There's a whole
stuff,
bunch of it.
Yeah.
And Nick, she had actually just done one prior to this whole...
To meeting Prince Harry.
Yes, and it's excellent.
And the whole family received a portfolio of all of this stuff and said, here's what we're dealing with.
She's a beautiful woman.
If you need me, I'm going to be reviewing these photographs in my chamber.
How long is that going to take?
Wappa. Fwap, fwap.
That's it.
The fappening.
Wappa wappa.
By the
That's the
way,
royal family version of fap.
why does this all have to rest on her shoulders? Like, why doesn't she have people looking at her going, "Yo, dude, I can see your panties"?
But she makes the final choice.
Yo, dude, I can see your panties. So the Kardashians won big as well last night. And they had a weird speech. They were trying to thank firefighters and stuff, and they actually made their win a tribute to the firefighters. And listen, see if you can hash this out. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's been a really rough week in our home in Calabasas, Hidden Hills, and our neighbors in Thousand Oaks and Malibu. Our hearts are broken from the horrific shootings and those who have lost their lives and homes, as well as the hundreds of thousands of us that have been evacuated.
On 93.3 WMMR. Cheap Trick. Want you to want me. It is 17 minutes after 10 o'clock. Preston and Steve program on a Tuesday morning. Our Word of the Week prize this week will only cost you 4 letters, as today is our first day of the work week for us back from Camp Out for Hunger. Thank you, by the way. Results were mentioned earlier this morning, and they were big ones. 1.6 million pounds of food and change, and right on the edge of $1 million, $995,710 raised.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it's all because of you.
Yeah, congratulations. You guys did it, and we're very, very happy with the outcome, and obviously it's going to make some people happy and healthy as and happy as they can be this time of year. So we very much appreciate it. And we'll do some more thank yous as the time drags on, but we have some other things to do. We're going to do today's lesson question, and we are going to give away as a prize a 4-pack of tickets for the Philadelphia Wings home opener against the Las Vegas Desert Dogs, which is going to be this Saturday at Wells Fargo Center. Question I'll ask you is this: what's our favorite geyser? 215-263 WMMR. Pretty easy answer, too. What's our favorite geyser? Steve mentioned that around 7:25 this morning. 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers. You can get your holiday shopping done and check off your whole list with one stop to the Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's holiday diamond destination. Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, or online at FamilyJewelers.com. What's up, Steve?
Well, 81-year-old rock legend Mick Jagger, seen out and about celebrating the birthday of his 8-year-old son, Devereaux. In a humorous turn, an amusement park attendant asked Devereaux if Jagger was his deceased grandfather.
Oh, my God.
Just days after his mother passed away, Eminem performed in front of a huge audience at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Eminem told the audience that the people of Dubai never make him feel welcome, but the people of Abu Dhabi do. And finally, former Bachelor contestant Caitlin Bristow posting post-op pics of her cosmetic eyelid surgery to Instagram said Bristow, quote, "My life is an open book for people who can't read." That's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, we're going to see if we can get an answer to today's lesson question. What's our favorite geyser? We will go to our first caller in, and it's Carl.
Carl!
Yes.
Good to see you.
Hey, Carl, good morning.
Steve, you make every morning so much brighter.
Well done.
Wow. That was well done. It had the voice crack and all. All right, Carl, what's our favorite geyser?
I believe it's Old Faithful.
Old Faithful, yeah. Hang on, Carl. We're going to give you a 4-pack of tickets for Philadelphia Wings home opener versus the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. It's this Saturday, Wells Fargo Center, and Philadelphia Wings lacrosse is back. You won't want to miss any of the nonstop action. First 3,000 fans get a Wings schedule magnet, and you can get your tickets now only at wingslax.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, brought to you by Worldwide Stereo. Give them goosebumps this holiday with a jaw-dropping home theater system or a turntable and vinyl collection they'll love. Visit Worldwide Stereo in Montgomeryville or online at worldwidestereo.com. Oh, man, I was sad to see this. I haven't seen Iron Maiden in ages, but Nico McBrain played his final show with the band. The drummer, whose retirement from touring was announced earlier this weekend. Yeah. Performed his final show at with the band as their 81-date Future Past tour came to an end in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
So he's not giving up the rodeo.
Well, yes, he'll stay on the rodeo. No, he's gonna continue to record with him.
Yeah, good.
With the crowd chanting "Nico, Nico" after
That's a clever chant.
"Stranger in a Strange Land." The second song of the set, frontman Bruce Dickinson paused to pay tribute to the man who's occupied Iron Maiden's drum stool since replacing Clive Burr in 1982.
Wow.
He said tonight. Bruce said tonight was a very special night, as some of you probably, I think you know. This morning, Nico announced that he will be stepping back from playing live drums with Iron Maiden. 42 years, Nico has been in the band. He was a drummer before I was a singer. He was a pilot before I was a pilot. Apparently, Dickinson was inspired to train after Nico had flown him from France to Jersey. And now he's not leaving the band, but he's just not playing live with us anymore, he said. Following Bruce's speech, the crowd continued to chant Nico's name, and the drummer stood up and thanked them for the tribute. Announcing his retirement from touring, McBrain said, after much consideration, it is with both sorrow and joy. I announced my decision to take a step back from the grind of the extensive touring lifestyle. Today, Sao Paulo, this will be my final gig with Iron Maiden. I wish the band much success moving forward.
Time to spend more time with the McBrain family.
His replacement is Simon Dawson, who plays in British Lion, which is bassist Steve Harris's side project. So they will carry on in that regard. Joe Satriani and Steve Vai have announced joint appearances as the Satch Vai Band, with another studio collaboration to follow.
This cat really knows how to play guitar.
That was me talking about Joe Satriani all those years ago. The Surfing with the Hydra tour kicks off next summer with more dates to come. And they shared stages together, notably as part of the G3 tours, but never in a standalone group. Satriani said, I'm so looking forward to sharing the stage with Steve again. Every time we play together, it takes me back to when we were teenagers, eating and breathing music every second of the day, pushing, challenging, and helping each other to be the best we could be. I guess we've never stopped. And Steve Vai said, touring with Joe is always a pleasure and an honor. He's my favorite guitarist to jam with, and now we have another opportunity to take it to the stage. I feel as though we are both at the top of our game, and the show will be a powerful celebration of the coolest instrument in the world, the electric guitar. Their dates are going to be in Europe. I don't know if they're going to swing back around this area or not, so we'll have to see in the States. And then finally, during an interview in Australia, Korn guitarist Brian Head Welch was asked about the progress made by the band in the songwriting sessions for a new album. And he said that it's been a blast, but don't expect any new music anytime soon. He said it's just going to take a while, and I don't know how long. Maybe next summer, maybe next year, maybe the next winter. I don't know.
What's your problem?
But he said, okay. He said, I don't know, but it's not going to be soon. In other words, he said, if you're saving your pennies for a new Korn album, you might be better off investing them for now.
Doesn't sound like they're really pushing ahead quickly with this.
No.
If ever.
Yeah, and that is what I have in music news for you. All right, we're going to take one more break. By the time we get back, it'll be time to wrap it up. But don't miss that letter of the day for the word of the week prize. We'll get it when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
From the devastating fires that are currently burning. So thank you so much to all of the people that have voted for us. This is such an honor.
Did you make that leap there? Did you make that leap?
Okay.
There's a lot of fire out there, but thank you for voting for us.
Are they dedicating the award?
It gets to that at the end, yeah.
All right.
I'd like to dedicate this win to all of the firefighters, the law enforcement, and the first responders.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
I'd like to thank the people what put out the fires.
Like, it just doesn't seem very genuine ever when it comes from them.
You can see the guys who are really, eating smoke and battling flames up. I got great news, guys! Kardashian was dedicated to us!
Like, I get to see them sitting around, like, when we win, we should, dedicate to somebody, so it makes us look good.
Listen, I want to tell everyone up there on the mountain, you guys are doing a great job. The Kardashians just donated their win to you on a field source floor. I just want to carry that into the fire with you.
That's the chief going on the radio to tell all the guys.
Attention everyone, Kardashians just donated their win on the People's Choice Awards to you. So I hope that inspires you to go marching into those flames and that super heat and that whipped up win. No word on Little Women LA yet.
Yeah. No. So the only reason that I might consider something like that is after grooming in my intimate areas. is that the stubble sucks.
Presbo, I'm waiting. One second, honey.
You get a little itchiness for a day or two.
So what do you use?
When it freshly grows
use
back
an
in.
electric shaver?
Yeah.
That's what I use for
Electric
safety,
razor.
yeah. And I like to be shorn tightly for that oh-so-porn look.
You know.
I just don't find it hygienic. I don't want to have a knotted, I don't want to look like the legend of Boggy Creek down there.
I only do it like every couple months. Just like, oh yeah, it's getting a little long. So
I mean, I do 100 brushes every night.
Oh, gross.
One second, I'm like Marsha Brady with her hair pressed.
and the stubble's a bitch, but
in the mirror.
That's the only thing I might consider.
So
why I would consider something.
Press, you get your dogs groomed?
Yeah, we do.
All right. So do you have boy dogs?
Do you let them do your crotch?
Well, because I have 2 male dogs, and they have to like shave their peens and their heinies.
Yeah.
Which I've like.
Did you ask if I avoid the dogs?
No.
I'm sorry. Okay.
No, I was gonna say.
You get thrown off by the peens and heinies.
Do you have a boy or a girl?
We
or
did
both?
the nails, the teeth, and the peens and heinies.
That's the name of the place, Peens and Heinies.
Peens and Heinies.
Have you guys been us on 202? It's called Peens and Heinies.
Come on in.
By the way, I heard Casey on the phone with his groomer the other day, and he was like, so I've been told when I bring my dog back that he's not too calm and that we need some extra help.
I had to get a big dog. I had to go and get sedatives for him. I had to go to the vet.
Poor thing.
Dude. And what's crazy about this, and Steve, you can probably attest to this, is that dog is the dog that I want to introduce to strangers because he's so lovely and nice and all this stuff. And the other one,
check out that peen.
But the other dog, who will like literally tear a stranger to shreds, is fine at the groomer, right? Like. It's like they change personalities when they get. And my cats were the same way at the vet.
I use the service that comes to the house.
Yeah, I should probably have that.
The same lady?
It's Avery.
Yeah, I used her. She was good.
Avery's is great, and they show up, and so the whole deal is they get used to going out of the house, right up, step up into the van, which is parked right by your house, right there, and they get it done because otherwise I don't want to have them have a full-blown seizure. And, man, the peen and heiny is great. My dog is peenless, so it's just heiny.
Yeah.
My female.
Yeah, but so somebody was also telling me that a way to sort of combat that, because it's the hair dryer, is to, like, when he's eating, run a hair dryer next to him while he's eating so he doesn't. I know. He's going to never eat again.
Is this the big dog?
This is the big dog.
Yeah. What's the big dog's name?
Reggie.
Reggie.
Yeah.
The dog's huge. Dog is huge and thinks it's a lap dog.
That's the black and white one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's actually not that big. I mean, he's only 74 pounds. Like, he looks bigger because of his fur.
Preston, you have Yorkies. That's a huge difference.
They're the doodle variety, so they get really hairy. So you have
we're
to groom
talking
them.
Doodle peen.
Yeah.
Doodle Peen. That was a kid show, wasn't it? Doodle Peen?
Hi, I'm Doodle Peen. On today's adventure, we teach you how to shave your ass. Shave it real good. Doodle Peen. Showing you how to groom your genitals.
Doodle peen, I have an issue right behind my testicles.
Well, it's easy. Use fly strips.
And now another adventure with Doodle Peen.
It can get awful smelly down there.
Oh, my God.
Like a filthy whore.
Hey, we're going to wrap this up. We got to start
wrap it up.
We got to
Hey,
start on
kids,
the road.
tune in next week for another episode of Doodle Peen.
All right. With that, we're going to take a break. Kylie Jenner has been hanging out with Drake.
Oh, great.
A month after her split from Travis
This
Scott.
story keeps coming back. Do you think there's something going on between them, or do you care? I'll give you both questions.
Well, I don't care, but most of these stories or most of the comments from quote-unquote sources say that they're just friends. They've known each other for a long time.
I'll tell you what, we talk about the surgical enhancements, and we talk about, the people who overdo it. Whoever, I mean, if you look at Kylie, she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
And besides the lips, there's she's had a ton of other work done, but nothing where you see all the lines and zippers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's almost like I get mad because it's like you're a billionaire because of what you look like. And that's not what you look like. It's, like A-Rod, is he going to get into the Hall of Fame for baseball because you were juiced up half of your career? So it's almost like your numbers are tainted.
Well, the most clear aspect of the whole hypocrisy of this thing is that what got her over the threshold, what started the Kylie Jenner empire, was the Kylie lip kit, and her lips were surgically enhanced.
Yep. I say to you, Greg.
But
is it an indictment of the country?
I'm wearing Kylie lip today.
Oh, I hate you.
I know.
Why?
That actually looks good.
I told you I bought it. Yeah.
I know.
I got it at Ulta. I tried one color, and I like it. It's pretty good.
You're giving her money.
I want my lips to look good. All right,
Yeah.
get off my back.
Doesn't look like you're wearing anything.
That's
like
Kylie genius.
That's what it is. That's what I got. I got kind of like a neutral color.
She is.
It's like the Emperor's New Clothes.
Yeah.
It's like doesn't even. All right, anyway. Patty on 93.3 WMMR won't back down. 10:32. And a Tuesday morning come to a close for us. It's remained foggy this whole time this morning. Well, for sure it would have cleared up by now. But, might be an issue again tomorrow. We still have warmer temperatures and rain expected. High today, 57. High tomorrow, 64. And then we'll be in the 30s as a high temperature when we get to Wednesday and Thursday.
You don't think this has anything to do with that military camp up on the mountain there, Preston?
I've seen that movie. I hope not. By the way, excuse me, I failed to reveal some information to you about a concert coming to town.
Oh, boy.
So I'd like to make this concert announcement right now. This show will be July 12th. So a little ways off, but nonetheless, tickets will go on sale this Friday. The show's going to be at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, and MMR is happy to welcome to town Creed. So Creed actually will be celebrating the 25th anniversary of the album Human Clay. And with them will be Three Doors Down.
That's pretty good.
That's a really good bill. Tickets, like I said, on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. Jackie Bam Bam, who will be in for Brent Porsche all this week, will be giving away tickets, and we hope that you will tune in for your chance to win. And also, there's another shot at winning tickets and the pre-sale information. You can get it all at WMMR.com. So I'll reiterate this one more time. July 12th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, MMR presents Creed and Three Doors Down. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. Jackie Bam Bam in for Brent Porsche this week, so listen in the afternoons. He'll be giving away tickets, and we have another chance for you to win tickets and pre-sale information at WMMR.com. So just wanted to pass that information along. I would like to thank our friends from Kamelot Productions for stopping by this morning. They did the drone footage, of which we now have available for you to view at Camp Out for Hunger. And I want to thank I want to thank Arthur Cade and Joe DiCandido for coming by this morning. From Kamelot. And if you have an event that you really want to showcase in a cool, exciting, visual way, you need to get in touch with Kamelot Productions. It's spelled with a K, and you can just look at our video as an example as to what can be done for you.
It is it's what you think of when you think of a top-level hype video. It's amazing.
So we thank those guys for coming by. And then I can thank Chris Long and Connor Barwin for being on the program this morning. Both talking about their charitable foundations. Connor with the Make the World Better Foundation, and Chris Long and his Chris Long Foundation and Water Boys. And super nice guys, so it was cool to have them on. And I think those are all the thank yous. Today's Tattoos Day.
Oh, it is.
Why don't we give away a Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo? Thank you to everybody who texted in for this, and we have a winner. It is Megan Rosenbaum. Philadelphia. And we are going to set up Megan with the $350 gift certificate. Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. And you want to check out the artwork samples, go to floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. We'll get our first letter of the day. You ready? He's here.
Boy.
He is indeed here. I was about to pull the trigger, but Pierre Robert has made it in the studio. How you doing, man?
Speaking of pulling the trigger.
Yeah. Whoa, trigger.
Well, you were talking about Camp Out earlier, and one of my favorite moments for me personally was when the SWAT team came.
Oh, yeah.
There's some pictures of a very befuddled looking Pierre with my little hat, my armor hat on. I think they call it a helmet. And it's all crooked, and my glasses are crooked, and everything is crooked. And the gun, this cannon thing they gave me, and then it recoiled, and I screamed like a big girl. And I'm aiming at an inanimate object, but I didn't do too bad overall. And they took the gun immediately away from me.
Immediately.
So it was a dummy gun, obviously.
Well,
right?
it had a rubber projectile.
Right.
I think that's what it normally shoots, actually.
Right. For training purposes?
Yeah. So it's not a...
or crowd control. Sometimes they use
rubber bullets.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you would not want to be hit by this thing.
Yeah.
It's not... I always thought rubber bullets were thin. It's a giant, thick device.
Yeah.
And
it's meant to dissuade you.
It is.
Non-lethal force, yeah.
But I, at one point, casually waved it over in front of the crowd, and everyone is diving on the floor. And it didn't have a projectile. They go, Pierre, don't do that. Do what? And then so that was quite a moment for me at Camp Out. And I also agree that the Hooters show and Adam and Don was magical.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
A lot of magical moments, but those are a couple for me. All right.
Excellent.
Now we can do the letter.
Letter? All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter.
M as in magic.
All right, and we have a Flyer Santa pack to give away, Santa sack, I should say, to give away on Friday. This holiday season, gift the game day experience with a Flyers Santa sack, and each package includes a pair of Flyers tickets, an autographed item, food and beverage voucher, and Philadelphia Wings lacrosse tickets, and it's everything you need for the game in one gift, only at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. So what you doing today, dude?
Well, we'll have White Stripes for Meg White's birthday. We'll have Neil Young. We'll have a block of Muse. It'll be fun. And Double Shot Tuesday.
Wonderful. Thank you, Pierre. And thank you for everything at Camp Out for Hunger. It was
pleasure.
Hell of an operation.
It was quite something.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by... let's see, Duncan and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Acme Market's official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles, and by Worldwide Stereo, making holidays more fun since 1979. Route 309 in Montgomeryville, or online at worldwidestereo.com. Tomorrow, a Wednesday, so we'll have a secret text word. We will also go live on Fox Good Day and say hi to Mike and Alex. They came out to the camp.
Yes, they did.
And we'll see what else we can get into midweek for you. That's it. We're done. Ray John, have a great day. Bye-bye.
93.3 WMMR.
Hey, everybody. It's good to have you on the